What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
4RH 086. There is only one difference between the Gale Swordsman. Seek full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Finally coming. At this moment, when they heard Whitebeard's overbearing words, countless pirates in the distance were shocked. The main event is finally here. Discussions also erupted. Whitebeard is finally on his feet. How terrifying will the battle between him and Luo Qiye be? I thought the battle wouldn't break out, but I didn't expect this battle to come. From the beginning to the end, I have never seen Luo Qiye make a move, and I don't know how strong he is. Even if he didn't make a move, the two major news that Luo Qiye exposed to the world are enough to shock the big forces of all parties. Especially the identity of Ace the Fire Fist, the son of Roger the Pirate King. Naval headquarters and world government, certainly not will let him go. I just want to witness how strong the 10-year-old brat you guys have been bragging about is. I once witnessed the battle with Drought Jack. That battle was so cool and shocking. Today's battle is 24, and it's no exception. The battle between the purple-robed swordsman and Yan Calamity Jin on the other side seems to have stopped. It should be that Yan Calamity Jin doesn't want to fight anymore. The two seem to have been in a tie all along, and it seems impossible to decide the winner in a short while. If you keep fighting, it will definitely be bad for Yan Calamity Jin, yes. You know, this is the territory of the Whitebeard pirates. The Bonnie pirates. Don't fight. Jewelry Bonnie clasped her hands together, she said nervously to herself, don't fight Whitebeard. She inexplicably thought of what Luo Qiye said to her back then, I still need a bed warmer girl. She still remembered that in the alley, she was defeated by many human traffickers and pirates. He struck out with a sword and killed all the enemies instantly, killing the Gecko Man instantly with a wave of his sword, even the roof was completely cut off. The brief contact and initial acquaintance made Jewelry Bonnie remember those pictures. In her subconscious, Luo Qiye, a boy in his teens. There's no way you can beat Whitebeard. Not to mention. Now Whitebeard, on the verge of an outburst of rage. Advertisement. Once you fight, the consequences are unimaginable. This moment, Stussie's heart tightened inexplicably, she bit her lip with silver teeth, her petite body tensed, she thought to herself, Luo Qiye. I don't know why you insisted on coming to Whitebeard, but now you have angered him, it's better to run quickly. There are blind swordsmen to help stop it, at least you can escape alone. As for us, we have nothing to do with each other, we just use each other's relationship. Don't worry about us. She bit her lip, raised her head, and her beautiful eyes fell on Luo Qiye, who was still wearing the black windbreaker she helped him choose. Still standing in the sea breeze calmly. Still as handsome as ever. Just like when he faced the Drought Jack, he seemed to ignore all the enemies in front of him, arrogant and unruly, and disdainful of everything. He did use his strength to do all this, and he has the capital of arrogance. Today's enemy is Whitebeard. Stussie was inexplicably worried. At this moment, she completely forgot her identity as CPO. The enemy Qiye faced. After forcing the Flame Calamity Jin back, Fujitora returned to the mammoth with a smile, his usual kind eyebrows were twisted into a ball at this moment, it seemed that he was a bit scary. It's more than terrifyingly strong. Baron Dandan only felt that his long legs were trembling uncontrollably, this is a more terrifying existence than Mom, the strongest man in the world, Edward Newgate. Moby DK aboard. Liquidation. Facing the extremely terrifying strongest man in the world, Luo Qiye seemed not afraid at all, but was very calm. He always had a smile on his face, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and the sea breeze blew his black windbreaker. He was only 10 years old, but he was handsome, like a fairy descended from the world, like a young man in the world. Speaking of liquidation, do you think you owe me a favor? I owe you a favor. La. Whitebeard laughed loudly, his laughter was extremely domineering, he held Kong Yunchi, one of the 12 great swordsmen, with one hand, and pointed at Luo Qiye with the other, the little devil from Red Hair Pirates, you think I won't shoot you what? What do you think of me? I'm Whitebeard. Advertisement. The overbearing laughter oscillated and echoed on the sea. Everyone heard what Whitebeard meant. He wants to shoot Luo Qiye. I gave you 2 big gifts from the Whitebeard pirates. If you don't accept it, let it go, but you still throw a sword at me. Unafraid, Luo Qiye spoke proudly, his voice resounding across the sea, as this is the way your Whitebeard pirates treat guests. The battle has not yet broken out, but the tense atmosphere hangs over Moby DK. Like a large army pressing down on the land, a peerless battle is about to break out. The battle between the 2 Four Emperors pirates. Just by hearing the name 057, you can tell how terrifying it is. Everyone in the distance couldn't help becoming nervous, and all eyes were fixed on the Moby DK. Father, you don't need to do it yourself. Foil Vista was the first to stand up, and it could be seen that he had wanted to find Luo Qiye a long time ago, and experience his rumored astonishing swordsmanship. Not to mention, in the eyes of many team leaders, Luo Qiye is just a member of Red Hair Pirates. And their father, but 4 emperors. If Whitebeard makes a move in person, he must be bullying the small, even if he wins, it would be disgraceful. The captain can only fight the captain once. If Whitebeard makes a shot, it must be a fight with the red-haired Shanks. Whitebeard Pirates, captain of the 5th Division, Foil Vista. Vista drew out his double swords and made an attacking gesture, please do not hesitate to teach me. Vista. Luo Qiye stands proudly, with his hands behind his back, like a slender swordsman standing in a strong wind. At this time, there is only a shakuhachi, a kind of flute, difference between him and the swordsman of the wind, and he looks directly at Vista. The voice is like the bleak autumn wind, and the domineering spirit is like the autumn wind sweeping the fallen leaves. A piece of advice. It's better not to make moves. Anyway, I win. 087. Even if there are tens of thousands of you, I still have no fear. Advertisement. I know you are strong, but you can talk about your sword skills. Even Mahawk dare not speak like this in front of me. Vista said in a deep voice. As the captain of the 5th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, he really has the strength to say so. But who is Luo Qiye? A traveler who was destined to set off endless storms in this world. Confidence is good, but you have to be confident in front of someone. When you face the existence that you can't overcome in your whole life, how ridiculous is self-confidence? With his hands behind his back, Luo Qiye didn't seem to intend to make a move. He faced the sea breeze, and with a clear voice, he said proudly, since you are so confident, then I will give you a chance. You can use your sword however you want. You can use any sword technique. If you can touch the corner of my clothes within 30 seconds, you will win. Hearing Luo Qiye's words, Vista frowned. The rest of the Whitebeard pirates are even more itchy, and they can't wait to come up to deal with Luo Qiye in person. Qiye brat, so arrogant. As expected of someone from the Red Hair Pirates, he speaks so arrogantly. It's just the last 4 Emperors pirate group. If you say this to others, you may still be able to hear it, but you know where you are now, but our Whitebeard pirate group, who gave it to you? Your courage, so arrogant. Even if the redhead came in person, she might not be so arrogant. Many members of the Whitebeard pirates opened their mouths and began to crusade. If you are not convinced, you can come up together. Luo Qiye laughed loudly, fearless. It seemed that at this moment, he stepped into the Moby DK alone, and he was facing all the members of the Whitebeard pirates alone. Even if thousands of you all join together, I am still fearless. Quote. Hiss. The pirates in the distance gasped when they heard this sentence. How dare you say such a thing alone on the Whitebeard pirates? How arrogant is this? How arrogant is this? Looking at the entire new world. No, even looking at the entire pirate world, no matter whether it is the southeast, northwest, 4 seas, or the Grand Line, no one has ever dared to be so arrogant and unruly. Is this the domineering that is rumored to belong exclusively to Luo Qiye? A true lone warrior. Just because he dared to go to the Whitebeard pirate group alone is enough to make the world admire him. What's more, he dared to say this sentence in front of the entire Whitebeard pirate group alone, even if he died here in the end. It is also enough to make the world look at it with admiration. Indeed. Advertisement. Since you choose the path of pirates, you are destined to be fearless of anyone. This is the spirit that Luo Qiye conveyed to us. Everyone who appreciates Luo Qiye is excited, and those who don't like Luo Qiye naturally scoff. As for an arrogant brat like Luo Qiye, even if he is given 10,000 lives, he still won't be able to reach the final island alive. It's just a kid with a bit of talent, just getting carried away. Childish and ignorant, he dares to shout at the Whitebeard pirates. I wonder how he will survive. Such an arrogant character is destined to die prematurely. Yes, on this mysterious sea, how many genius monsters were born. But in the end, only Roger became the One Piece. Let's not talk about One Piece, even the 4 emperors above the sea, Luo Qiye can't grow up to that level, he is doomed to die. Let's do it. While discussing, someone suddenly reminded me. Moby DK aboard. Please enlighten me. Hanama Vista, who is not good at words, made a decisive move without any hesitation. The 2 swords in his hands showed a crossing trend, and he rushed towards Luo Qiye, and when he was close to the latter, the 2 swords slashed towards him. 2 swords flow. But Luo Qiye was still calm and composed, leaning back slightly, easily dodged the 2 slashes, and said in his mouth, slow, too slow, such slashes do not pose any threat to me. Many white group pirates gritted their teeth and exclaimed. It even escaped. The one who escaped Captain Vista's slash so easily, is Observation Haki. The Observation Haki on top of Captain Vista. What a strong Observation Haki. Vista, who missed the double cut, was slightly surprised. He is also an Observation Haki user, but Luo Qiye still dodged these 2 swords, so there is only one possibility, Luo Qiye's Observation Haki, on top of it. Although he was slightly surprised in his heart, the 2 swords in Vista's hands did not stop, and almost instantly, 2 swords slashed out again. This time, the 2 swords killed Luo Qiye from both sides at the same time. Luo Qiye seemed to be able to dodge only upwards. And in this direction, Vista has already prepared his backhand. As long as Luo Qiye escapes, he will kill 2 swords at the same time. At that time, Luo Qiye must have nowhere to hide. 2 amazing sword strikes on the left and right, as fast as lightning, slashed towards Luo Qiye. Advertisement. In an instant, there seemed to be sakura flowers floating in the air, and the cold 2-knife style slashed towards Luo Qiye at the speed of thunder. No hiding. He didn't hide. At this moment, all the members of the Whitebeard pirates on the Moby DK were shocked. Even the captains including Marco are no exception. The captains of the major groups have solid eyes, and their pupils are full of unbelievable colors. The expression on Foil Vista's face was as if frozen, he stared at Luo Qiye firmly, and his heart was already filled with turbulent waves. Because his originally astonishing 2-sword slash was unexpectedly caught by Luo Qiye empty-handed. Hiss. At this moment, many members of the Whitebeard pirates saw this scene clearly, and the sound of gasping, like firecrackers, kept ringing. How can this be? He actually caught Captain Vista's double sword. Empty hand to white sword. Hiss. In this world, is there really such a thing as empty-handed and empty-handed? Such a terrifying double knife style was caught by him empty-handed. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, who would believe it was real? Incredible. All the white group pirates, those who got Zhao, were completely shocked at this moment. In their minds, Captain Vista, whose swordsmanship was comparable to Mahawk, was caught empty-handed by this 10-year-old boy. Buzz. Yun. It's too late to say it. Luo Qiye caught the twin swords of Vista with his bare hands. Armament Haki immediately spread out from his arms. The black armor, in an instant, extended from Luo Qiye's arms to Vista's double swords. I never said, I won't fight back. At the same time as Luo Qiye's arrogant voice sounded, his two hands holding the two swords exerted force in vain, and a shocking sword intent was released from him. Two-sword swordsmanship. I can do it too. Rose Rondo. 088. Impossible. This. Absolutely impossible. Joey Po. Open black lens bracket seek full order close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Luo Qiye grasped the blade with both hands, and at the same time he flew into the air. Vista's famous ultimate move was used. Flower petals appear in the sky. When the petals fell, the two swords slashed, and two slashes erupted from the blades, slashing Vista, the master of the two swords. At such a close distance, even with observation haki, Vista is hard to dodge. Not to mention, he never thought that Luo Xiaoyi could get out of the sword bed like this. He even didn't expect that Luo Qiye would actually use his special attack. This was beyond his expectation. He was beaten defenseless. As the developer of this sword technique itself, Vista knows best that this seemingly gentle two-sword slash actually contains extremely terrifying lethality. He can't avoid it, so he can only strengthen his defense with armament haki. Two seemingly gentle slashes landed on Vista. PFF'd. Vista flew upside down, and blood flew out like petals. But those two long swords fell into the hands of Luo Qiye. Rose Rondo. Vista stopped his back step, his pupils widened, his eyes widened, and he looked at Luo Qiye in shock, his heart set off in unprecedented turmoil. This is impossible. How could you know my rose wheel? Dance. Deep shock. 813 The captain of the 5th team of the Whitebeard pirates, the great swordsman foil Vista, at this moment. There is only one emotion in his mind, and that is shock. There is only one thought in his mind, and that is incredible. What's the situation? This is Vista's double swords Rose Rondo. Oh my god, Captain Vista's Nirvana, why Luo Yetai? It's impossible. You know, this is Captain Vista's original Nirvana. In this instant, all members of the Whitebeard pirates on the Moby DK are in an uproar. They never thought of it. They never figured it out. Why Luo Qiye used Vista's sword skills. To know. Advertisement. This is Vista's original Nirvana. It means that there is no inheritance. Unless Vista himself teaches it himself. Otherwise. There is another possibility. Marco, who was in the shape of a pineapple head, said in a deep voice of astonishment, Luo Qiye learned Vista's sword skills during the short fight just now. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. How could it be possible for a person to learn a completely unfamiliar swordsmanship in such a short period of time? What's more, Captain Vista's swordsmanship is two-sword style. It's not the one-sword style of ordinary swordsman at all. That's right. But, how should I explain all this? Shock. This moment, all the members of the Baituan were shocked beyond measure. They thought that Luo Qiye would show power beyond their knowledge. I also imagined that Luo Qiye would open the gate of heaven with one sword and change the weather of heaven and earth as depicted in the newspaper news. They never imagined that Luo Qiye would be able to learn Captain Vista's original two-sword Nirvana in such a short period of time just by fighting against Captain Vista. Is he a swordsman genius who can't be met once in 100 years? But, no matter how terrifying the talent of swordsmanship is, it is impossible to learn a completely unfamiliar swordsmanship just by looking at it. What's more, it is a two-sword style of different schools. Can't explain it all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How on earth did he do it? Shock. Except shock. Still TM shocked. The captains of the major groups of the Baituan were also in shock. Even Whitebeard himself, who had just stood up, was shocked by Luo Qiye's swordsmanship talent. Is that why Shanks likes him? Whitebeard's originally cloudy eyes suddenly burst into light. Pirates in the distance. See, those who witnessed this moment with their own eyes were even more dumbfounded, unable to believe what they saw with their own eyes. How can this be? Why did Luo Qiye use the famous Nirvana of the captain of the 5th team in reverse? Advertisement. It's unbelievable. I thought he would use the power of the legendary golden god of war, but I found that I still far underestimated Luo Qiye. How did he learn the two-sword swordsmanship? The unbelievable look permeated every pirate's face. At this time, the big pirate who offered a reward of hundreds of millions said, could it be, this is the two-sword Nirvana that he learned from the short fight just now? Perhaps there is only one explanation. Another captain-level pirate spoke. They also couldn't believe it. There is only one explanation. It's impossible to say. Vista is an undercover agent of the Red Hair Pirates, secretly taught Luo Qiye's two-sword swordsmanship in advance, waiting for today, deliberately making a blockbuster. There are also pirates with big brains, so they analyzed. How can it be? Members of the Whitebeard Pirates, how could there be an undercover agent? Blackbeard teach, didn't he rebel against the Whitebeard pirates? He also killed the captain of the second team, and now he is still at ease in the Sea of New World. Is there such a thing? But, don't you see the shock on Vista's face that is not weaker than ours? This must be impossible. Enter the Bonnie pirates. Jewelry Bonnie's eyes were swollen, and she murmured, it turns out that your talent for swordsmanship is so terrifying. Beast's pirates sighed. Many pirates were equally astonished. The rookies are all monsters. The red hair pirates have found such a monstrous imp. With just one glance, I learned the special skill swordsmanship of the leader of the Whitebeard pirates. With such a talent, the future growth is infinite. Red hair pirates, do you want a group of 2 emperors? This. While many subordinates around him were shocked, Yan Calamity Jin was also moved by it. As his own ancient species demon fruit power, he also uses swordsmanship. Also has a very high swordsmanship talent. The talent of swordsmanship that Luo Qiye showed now really shocked him severely. It's better to bury such an enemy on the sea forever. At this moment, Yan Calamity Jin only had one thought in his mind. I just want to see Captain Kaido become Joey Boy. Before Captain Kaido becomes a legend, all obstacles are my enemies. 089. Do you want to dance too? You know what I'm capable of when I'm at full power. Advertisement. Almost at the same time that Flame Calamity Jin showed his killing intent, Fujitora smiled and frowned slightly. His blind eyes were facing the pirate ship of Beast's pirates, revealing a faint white light. He is always staring at Flame Calamity Jin. Otherwise, he would have any chance to attack Luo Qiye. During this period of contact with Luo Qiye, Fujitora smiled and found that the justice described by Luo Qiye was almost exactly the same as the justice he believed in. He also recognized Luo Qiye more and more. Unknowingly, he has integrated into the nuclear ping fan team. But, in the heart of Fujitora's smile, there is another idea hidden, another slightly selfish purpose of protecting Luo Qiye. He expects Luo Qiye to really grow up, overthrow the false justice that exists in this world. Make this world real peace. The people will no longer suffer. Moby DK aboard. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 28,060 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. The system prompt sounded in Luo Qiye's mind, and the corners of his mouth involuntarily raised slightly. In this round, they are about to break through 30,000 pretense points. I don't know if we can break the record of 30,000 points today. If it doesn't work this time, I guess we will have to wait until the Summit War to break the record next time. It was a little scary just now. Luo Qiye remained calm, but actually he knew it clearly. Facing the leader of the Whitebeard pirate team head-on, there is still a big risk after all. The reason why Luo Qiye was able to learn Vista's two-sword swordsmanship was just a moment of fighting. In fact, Luo Qiye was able to learn this move so quickly with the help of Observation Hakis, seeing, after receiving the sword with his bare hands just now. If only relying on full-level swordsmanship talent, such an exaggerated effect would definitely not be achieved. This is Luo Qiye referring to Enel in the original book, assisting Thunder Fruit with Observation Haki, and developing the hard network that can cover the entire Sky Island, and flexibly using Observation Haki according to his own situation. There is a difference between the two. As for defeating Vista with one move, it was playing the card of surprise, attack unprepared. Advertisement. This is the real horror of Luo Qiye's attack this time. The two swords he uses are not necessarily stronger than Vista. But the battle of life and death is about a surprise. Attack and kill technique, by surprise, hard to guard against. Who else? Luo Qiye glanced over Foil Vista, then at the members of the Whitebeard pirates, and finally landed on a captain, with an arc drawn at the corner of his mouth, and a penetrating voice. He laughed arrogantly and said, "What? None of the 4 emperors pirate group, which is known as the most powerful in the world, and the huge Whitebeard pirate group dare to take a step forward. Will you fight me? You and I come again." Vista gritted his teeth and took a step forward. No. Luo Qiye was playing with the double swords in his hand, and the 2 swords were flipping in his hands, so unrestrained, he said proudly, as a swordsman, how can you fight the enemy if you lose the sword in your own hand? Mind attack technique, the most deadly. And Luo Qiye's words, like a knife, pierced viciously into Vista's heart. The only thing left in his mind is the Rose Rondo dance that Luo Qiye just used. The petals are all over the sky, but it seems to be mocking him. Not only was he able to learn the swordsmanship, which is his famous special skill, in an instant, but he also snatched the 2 swords from him. This is absolutely unacceptable for a swordsman. And Luo Qiye's talent for swordsmanship has completely surpassed his Vista. This battle, it doesn't make any sense to fight any further. I can fight with you. Diamond Josita took a step forward, and the entire Moby DK made a loud bang. He is huge and burly. Although he is not as tall as the giants, he is still as tall as 5 meters. The overwhelming aura of Mount Tai was like a mountain. As he moved forward, the shadow of his body shrouded him, and he said in a deep voice. Joz, the captain of the 3rd team. Please enlighten me. Captain of the Whitebeard Pirates 3rd Division. This is not just the name of the ghost cloak. The Diamond Man of the Shining Fruit is extremely amazing in terms of defense and destructive power. What's more, Diamond Joz was born with supernatural powers. I have been a monster since I was a child. 30 years ago, he joined the Whitebeard Pirates. At the age of 12, Joz had already participated in the war between the Whitebeard Pirates and the Roger Pirates. Naturally, Luo Qiye also knows this. In the plot of the original novel, there are not many plots of Diamond Joe's. But every time it was an extremely powerful performance. Advertisement. Ask for flowers. Diamond hardened against Hawkeye's slash. With a strange force, he raised the iceberg and smashed it towards Marine. Crash Sir Crocodile. Rampage the battlefield. Hurt Admiral of Headquarters Aokiji. All of these undoubtedly represent the strength of this big man, the depth of his background, and his terrifying defensive and destructive power. Luo Qiye is completely fearless. Paramesha Shining Fruit ability user. Diamond Shield. Diamond Joe's. Luo Qiye raised his head slightly, the sun shone brightly on his body, and the sea breeze blew by. He raised his two swords slightly and pointed at Zubu Chaozi. Do you want to dance too? Pretending to be like the wind, always with me. Hearing Luo Qiye's words, many members of the Whitebeard pirates gritted their teeth secretly. He's still so arrogant. This kid is too crazy. I have lived for dozens of years, and this is the first time I have seen such an arrogant brat. No matter how old or young, I have lived for decades and seen countless pirates on this sea, but I have never there is such an arrogant person. You really are an arrogant brat. Damn it. This guy, is it true that no one can cure him? This brat, relying on his talent and strength, he is too good at pretending. Boss Chaozi can definitely kill him. You know, Boss Chaozi's defense and destructive power are extremely terrifying. Brother Joes, show this kid some color. Let him know the dangers in this sea. Many members of the white group gritted their teeth and stared at Luo Qiye. Now they can't wait for all the members to come together and beat Luo Qiye to the ground. Good thing Diamond Joe stepped up. Kacha. Diamond Chao's let out a deep roar, and suddenly exerted force under his feet. Even the extremely solid deck made a sound of cracking, and Diamond Chao's mountain-like body rushed towards Luo like a super high-speed shell. Qiye. During this process, diamonds covered every part of his body like armor. The defense and destructive power reached an extremely terrifying peak at this moment. That terrifying aura, that ignoring rampage is enough to crush anything in front of his eyes. A diamond. Luo Qiye flew up suddenly. He faced the rushing diamond mountain. His momentum was like a rainbow, and his voice spread. Do you understand my ability when I'm fully activated? 090 times have changed. Challenge the entire Whitebeard pirates with one man. Advertisement. Boom. The moment Diamond Chaozi bumped into Luo Qiye, the dazzling golden light suddenly appeared in vain, and almost instantly, a deafening rumbling sound erupted. The brilliant light of diamonds collides with the golden light. At the same time as a thunderous explosion sounded, sparks lit up like a bomb explosion. Kacha. The terrifying air waves turned into circles of waves and ripples, oscillating in all directions. The air seemed to be shattered, and the entire huge Moby DK shook violently. The hull even stirred up countless huge waves. And that Diamond Joes, who was rushing forward with unshakable power and the aura of crushing everything, was knocked out by force. Where Luo Qiye was originally, a golden giant with a height of hundreds of meters and a body like mechanical armor, appeared in the sight of all, 19 people. And Luo Qiye was standing in the body of the giant, with his hands behind his back, standing proudly. His eyes didn't seem to fluctuate at all. Originally tall and burly, 5 meters tall, the mountain-like diamond man Chaozi, now in front of the golden giant, was knocked out like a football, so vulnerable. Boom. Thorn. Diamond Chaoz exerted all his strength. The moment he landed, he clasped his hands on the deck, trying to stabilize his figure. After retreating tens of meters, with a piercing sound, 2 people were left on the solid deck. There were deep scratches, and the whole person was in a half-kneeling position just now. Stopped. During the whole process, the huge deck was shaken. The strong shock makes every pirate feel moved. This is the power of the golden god of war. At this moment, all the pirates in the Whitebeard pirates opened their eyes wide again. They raised their heads one by one, looking up at the huge golden giant in front of them. As this, the power of the giant race. What a terrifying power. This golden giant has the power to destroy everything. I've never seen this kind of power. He doesn't seem to belong to the power of this world. This kid, who the hell is he? Why does he know all the secrets? And at the same time, he has such amazing fighting power. The swordsmanship attainment is higher than that of Captain Vista. The power of this golden giant knocked Boss Joes into the air again. However, such terrifying power actually appeared in a kid who had never heard of it before, and was only in his teens. What a shock. As that human being, the pirates of the White Group have experienced countless battles, and they have seen countless strong men. Advertisement. On this new world's Grand Line, there are as many strong people as Crucian carp crossing the river, but I have never seen such a terrifying existence like Luo Qiye. Monster. It's a real monster. The big whirlpool spider Scabbard, who was almost killed by Luo Qiye before, looked at the golden full-body Susano, and fell into a deep shock. Whether it's the swordsmanship when facing foil Vista before, or the terrifying golden giant in front of him, every kind of power is beyond his ability to contend. It's really like what he said before, I'm in front of him. Scabbard recognized the reality bitterly. I don't even have the qualifications to let him make a move. Originally, he thought Luo Qiye was talking big. He wasn't convinced at first. Even though he was almost killed by Luo Qiye's long river of swords, he, Scabbard, still held his breath in his heart, a little dissatisfied. When he witnessed Luo Qiye take 2 shots in succession, he has completely recognized the reality. thoroughly recognized the insurmountable gap between him and Luo Qiye. Times changed. At this time, not only the many members and captains of the Whitebeard pirates were shocked, but also the pirates of the major fleets of Schoolyard and the Whitebeard pirates were shocked. Even Whitebeard himself couldn't help but stare at this moment. The strongest man who suppressed the New World felt an unprecedented surprise in his heart at this time. Very strong. The power of this golden giant is probably more destructive than Joe's. There was a huge wave in Whitebeard's heart, and he kept rolling. His hand holding the naginata was a little tighter, and the vibration was as strong as an active volcano that was about to erupt. Whitebeard will shoot Luo Qiye anytime. And the pirates who came to watch the battle in the distance were even more surprised. The many pirates of the Beast's pirates are no exception. A boundless killing intent flashed in Yan Calamity Jin's eyes. His face hidden under the black armor showed an unprecedented dignified look. In his opinion, Whitebeard is old. Neither Red Hair nor Big Mom is Kaido's enemy. Advertisement. He wants to assist Kaido to become that existence. And Luo Qiye turned out to be born. Sure to break it all. But there are many doubts in his heart. What secrets are hidden on this brat? Why does he know my life experience? And how did he learn the secret of the Whitebeard pirates? He possesses so many abilities. Where did he come from? Questions that no one can answer. Bae, I'm going to catch this brat with my own hands. Let him speak out. Yan Calamity Jin looked at Luo Qiye with boundless killing intent. Fujitora smiled at Fire Calamity Jin. Even the staff and sword in his hand were restricted a bit. As long as Yan Calamity Jin made a move, he would strike at any time. Although he can't see Luo Qiye's various abilities with his own eyes, he can also learn about them through observation haki and from various discussions. He became more and more determined that his decision to follow Luo Qiye was the right one. On the Moby DK. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 26500 acting points. Close black lens bracket. Do you want to come again? When the system prompt sounded, Luo Qiye kept his eyes on the ground, looking down at Diamond Joes and the captains of the Whitebeard pirates. Any one of you who wants to stand up, I will accompany you. But if you are injured by me 1.0, you can only blame your own strength, that's all. This moment, Luo Qiye is full of confidence. His arrogance, are all based on strength. With the improvement of physique, the time for Luo Qiye to use the complete body Susanoo is also getting longer and longer. Even if Diamond Joes wants to fight again, he can still fight one. Come again. Joe stood up from his half-kneeling state, clenched his hands into fists, his whole body covered in diamonds was covered with another layer of armament haki. At this moment, the will to fight is burning. No need. At this moment, Marco, who had always been taciturn, stood up, stopped Joe's, and walked towards Luo Qiye step by step. Do you want to challenge all the captains of the entire Whitebeard pirates with one person? 091. The name of this era is Whitebeard. Seek full order. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Swish swish swish. When Marco said these words, all the captains of the Whitebeard pirates stood up one after another. A series of angry eyes fell on Luo Qiye in unison. Oh, Luo Qiye stood in Susanoo's body, looking down at the captain below. His eyes were indifferent, and he laughed loudly. Are you going to fight the siege together, or fight the wheel one by one? Hearing Luo Qiye's words, many captains calmed down. They are the captains of the Whitebeard pirates. Whether it's a wheel battle or a siege battle. Either lose or win. More than a dozen captains, dealing with a child who was only in his teens. If this matter gets out, the pirates all over the world will definitely laugh their heads off. The face of the Whitebeard pirates will be lost by them. So, they can only stare blankly. Don't dare to act rashly. You can defeat Vista, and you can also defeat Jozu, which is enough to show that you already have the same strength as us. Marco said in a deep voice. While speaking, blue flames burned behind him, and the blue phoenix flame wings appeared behind him. His eyes fell on Luo Qiye, and he said in a deep voice, if you and I fight, we will fight. It's the last battle today. No matter we win or lose, we Whitebeard pirates will let you go. Marco, are you mistaken? Luo Qiye took a light step and fell from Susanoo. Behind him, the golden Susanoo still existed, glowing with golden light. He smiled and looked at Marco with an arrogant expression. At this time, he was facing thousands of enemies from the Whitebeard pirates, but it is like entering the land of no one, fearless, extremely domineering. His voice sounded again, extremely domineering, as if coercing all over the world, spreading across the entire sea level, and the echo kept echoing in this sea area. Whether it's New World or the Four Emperors Pirates, I'll come when I want, and I'll leave when I want, no one can stop me. As soon as this sentence comes out, the faces of the thousands of pirates in the entire Whitebeard pirate group suddenly changed. Not only that, not far away, the faces of many pirates in Beast's pirates, including Flame Calamity Jin, changed drastically. The words of Luo Qiye just now also include them. Advertisement. In this world, who can stop him Luo Qiye? This is simply mocking all pirates. And the pirates who watched the battle from a distance felt that this sentence was extremely haki, extremely amazing. If it were someone else who said this sentence, it might only end up in a laughable and generous result. But Luo Qiye said this sentence, not only did they not feel ridiculed, but they were even more amazed at Luo Qiye's kingly spirit. Whether it's New World or the Four Emperors Pirates, I'll come when I want, and I'll leave when I want, who can stop me? Hey, this sentence is really overbearing. This is the confidence brought by strength. Although he is only in his teens, but he does have the right to be arrogant. This is the mysterious boy who came out of the Red Hair Pirates. He is 10 years old, how amazing is he? Until today, I have never seen what is called real hockey. The domineering people I have seen before are not even worthy of lifting shoes in front of Luo Qiye. He is truly based on strength. I don't know who is stronger and who is weaker between him and Whitebeard. Whitebeard looks like he can't help but want to shoot. I don't know how many pirates heard this sentence. They were amazed, they were shocked by it, and they were shocked by it. So is Jewelry Bonnie, so is Stussy, even Fujitora thinks so when he smiles. As for Baron Eggy, he was so shocked that he didn't know how to describe his inner emotions. When he thought of the time when Luo Qiye chased and killed him before, and the strength of Luo Qiye now, he began to secretly rejoice that he didn't really anger Luo Qiye back then. Otherwise, just when Luo Qiye showed up today, the Baron of Balls at that time, even if he had 3 balls, he couldn't bear it. What an arrogant tone. Whitebeard finally couldn't help but speak. He looked straight at Luo Qiye. When Whitebeard spoke, it was as if the air between heaven and earth froze. If you want to force me to fight, you can challenge me directly, and I will let you know what is real power. The atmosphere instantly became tense and terrifying. The world-shattering war seems to break out in just one thought. Advertisement. At that time, the sky will collapse and the earth will shatter, and the sea will flow backwards. Countless pirates in the distance are terrified. Is the real war finally about to break out? Whitebeard is finally about to make a move. The eyes of all the pirates are fixed on Luo Qiye and Whitebeard. The duel between these two people is destined to spread throughout the New World, throughout this grand line, and throughout the 4 seas. At this time, whether it's Fujitora's smile or Flame Calamity Jin's, they all get nervous. If Whitebeard makes a shot, can Luo Qiye really stand up? Or, what trump card is still hidden by Luo Qiye, which has never been revealed? As for Wabel, he has been in a state of bewilderment ever since he beat up the Vortex Spider Squid before. He's a bit confused. With his incompletely developed cerebellum, he can't completely analyze what's going on in front of him. This is a typical sacrificial IQ, adding all skill points to strength. As the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, you finally can't help but want to make a move. 230 Luo Qiye's eyes shifted from Marco to Whitebeard, and a strong sense of crisis enveloped him. In Luo Qiye's heart, that is the sense of oppression brought by the strongest power in this world. Not conquerors hockey, it's just the oppressive feeling of being the strongest man in the world. Whitebeard can coerce all over the world. It doesn't rely on a simple, come to be my son, it relies on real strength, the strength to defeat all challengers. Only, Luo Qiye kept his eyes on Whitebeard, facing the powerful man who shocked the entire new world. A new era is coming, and you in the old era should return to your hometown. Enjoy the tranquility of your old age. What a new era, what an old era. Gu la la la. Whitebeard laughed out loud, his terrifying voice shook the world, as if there were vibrations being transmitted. The horror of Paramesha Shock Fruit's ability, before it was shown, already made people feel scalp numb and fearful. He laughed loudly, little devil, have you made up your mind to face death? Whitebeard pointed the naginata in his hand at Luo Qiye, and said domineeringly, I will not be merciful to anyone other than my family. I will let the world remember that the name of this era is Whitebeard. 092. A shocking battle. Peerless. Luo Qiye vs Whitebeard. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Whitebeard's incomparable hockey's words resounded throughout the sea. Echoing over the sea, it seems that everything that happened before is not enough to shake others up. No matter how many captains Luo Qiye beats. Regardless of Luo Qiye's moves, every move, mysterious or domineering, it seems that Luo Qiye's abilities that are incomparably shocking in the eyes of outsiders, in his Whitebeard's eyes, are just mediocre. He Whitebeard, in the face of any power, breaks it. Whitebeard is going to take a shot. Here we come. The long-awaited battle is finally coming. This is the real pinnacle battle above this sea. Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. He is a terrifying existence that can cause tsunamis and earthquakes. Being able to witness this epic battle with my own eyes will be the greatest honor in my pirate career. Whitebeard is going to shoot. Should we stay away? Ha ha ha. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being hurt by the aftermath of the battle? What qualifications does this coward who has no courage have to witness today's battle? I don't know what ability Luo Qiye will use when facing Whitebeard. No matter what ability he uses, Whitebeard will definitely win today. Even if Luo Qiye's performance has completely surpassed everyone's perception, but with his current strength alone, he can't compete with Whitebeard at all. You know. Whitebeard but a strong man on the same level as Pirate King Roger. A strong man in the Rocks era. The Age of Rocks. Mentioning this name, many people gasped for it. As if it is forbidden, people dare not mention it. On the surface of the sea, there are countless pirates who dare not miss a minute and stare at the Moby DK. Morgans is constantly busy with his instructions. He has already sent every latest news he has received through his newspaper bases in all major oceans around the world. The strongest man in the world shoots. The shocking battle begins. The real battle between the 4 Emperors Pirates, who is stronger and who is weaker. The collision between the new era and the old era, the final result, will the old era remain at its peak, or will the new era rise strongly? What kind of whole card will Luo Qiye show up in the end to face the day? Morgan's writing press releases fast. As he was writing, he sent out the finished manuscripts one by one, and let his subordinates start to spread them in branches and strongholds all over the world. Newspapers were reprinted frantically, and spread frantically on the Grand Line. Aboard the Mammoth. No, Baron Dandon was crazy. He saw that Luo Qiye was very strong, but he knew even more how terrifying Whitebeard was. When he saw that Whitebeard was about to make a move, his whole body went numb. He followed the Four Emperors' ant, but he was very aware of the true strength of the Four Emperors, just how terrifying it was. That is enough to shake the power of heaven, earth and sea. Not to mention, advertisement. Baron Egg is even more aware that even the ant who is the Four Emperors dare not provoke Whitebeard. As long as it is Whitebeard's territory, as long as it is Whitebeard's island, their big mom pirates will make a detour. This is the order issued by Aunt Charlotte Linlin herself. Don't mess with Whitebeard. It's a testament to the horrors of Whitebeard. Not far from the beast's pirates. Flame Calamity Jin was terrified. This was the first time he felt terrified. Even when facing Kaido, he has never felt like this before. And Whitebeard only released his fighting spirit, and he felt an unprecedented sense of oppression at such a distance. This damn oppressive feeling. Flame Calamity Jin roars inwardly. As the deputy emperor of the beast's pirates, he knows better than anyone else the true terrifying strength of Whitebeard. Even their captain, Kaido, the king of beasts, once said that Whitebeard is not to be messed with until the time is right. Why does that kid look fearless? Can't he feel any sense of oppression? Yan Calamity Jin's eyes hidden under the mask showed a look of shock. He looked at Luo Qiye from a distance, and was greatly shocked. Does he really think he can compete against Whitebeard? Crazy. All this is a long story. It actually happens only for a very short time. Whitebeard's voice just fell. Boom. An unrivaled conqueror's haki, unleashed from Whitebeard. Kacha. The void is shattered. Terrifying coercion, mighty, overwhelming, came to suppress Luo Qiye. Facing such a terrifying conqueror's haki, Luo Qiye finally no longer has any contempt. Enveloped by Whitebeard's conqueror's haki, he can't stop a roar that resounds across the sea. This is the first time he has faced such coercion. The potential of his body is fully stimulated in the roar. Like diving into a dragon in the abyss, rush out of the sea and break through the shackles. Luo Qiye raised his head to the sky and screamed. The roar was earth-shattering. If I have it, the sky cannot be without it. If I want it to be nothing, the sky is not allowed. Conqueror's haki. Boom. In an instant, Luo Qiye's conqueror's haki seemed to break through the shackles and step into a higher realm. Advertisement. This is not a volume breakthrough. It's not a level breakthrough either. It is a breakthrough of higher grade, high quality and high spirit. Upward breakthrough. Just like the peerless emperor above the Four Emperors, he dominates the world and looks down on the Four Emperors. Maybe it's the effect of time travel. Maybe it's Luo Qiye's out-of-this-world potential. Under the pressure of Whitebeard. Break through the critical point. Accompanied by Luo Qiye's long howling sound, the Conqueror's haki, which is above this world, surges out from him. Two strands of Conqueror's haki collide. Kacha. There are tiny cracks appearing on the Moby DK. Boom boom boom. One after another, the members of the Whitebeard pirates fainted and fell to the ground. These ordinary pirates in the White group are also ruthless characters in New World on weekdays. In today's shocking confrontation between Luo Qiye and Whitebeard's Conqueror's haki, they couldn't hold back these two terrifying pressures at all. Falling down one by one. The pirates who witnessed all this from a distance were shocked. Very shocking. They never thought that Luo Qiye's Conqueror's haki could promise be strong enough to challenge the power of Whitebeard. This moment, only Luo Qiye knows how terrifying the coercion he faces. Even if his Conqueror's haki breaks the shackles and enters a higher level, it can beat Whitebeard's domineering Conqueror's haki. Dog. This is tough. Only for a very short time. This is Luo Qiye's limit. This is like the ice that should be above the water, but if there is so much water that gathers into rivers, lakes and seas, even a large piece of ice will be mercilessly melted by the water. Faced with such pressure, how could Luo Qiye not know that he was in a desperate situation, but the matter had come to this point, he could only resist, he couldn't stop howling, the howling was earth-shattering. Heaven did not give birth to me, Luo Qiye, and the way of swordsmanship is like a long night. Since heaven gave birth to me, Luo Qiye, I will open the gate of heaven for the way of swordsmanship. One sword opens the gate of heaven. 093. Redhead. Help me. Little brother begging to subscribe. Ask for full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. It's useless. Stop making unnecessary struggles. Luo Qiye moves fast, but Whitebeard's is even faster. He tore off all the vile needles, and his huge body leaned forward. The naginata in his hand suddenly shook, and he slashed out. A terrifying slash. Before the sword opened the gate of heaven was completed, it slashed in front of Luo Qiye. You know, this knife contains the power of the terrifying shock fruit. Not just slashing. Luo Qiye only felt an unprecedented sense of crisis coming, and he didn't dare to catch it with bare hands. The sword was forcibly broken to open the gate of heaven. Luo Qiye Observation Haki was fully activated, and his body slid forward, trying to avoid this slash that contained the power of shock fruit. Hateful. Can't hide. Scary Observation Haki. Luo Qiye's scalp tingled instantly. Block me. Kacha. But seeing Susanoo behind Luo Qiye raised her arms abruptly, because Luo Qiye blocked the day with a knife. But Susanoo, who was invincible before, was stabbed by Whitebeard, and there were dents and shocking cracks in the huge arms. Boom. Almost in the next moment, the terrifying shock force caused Susanoo's arms to burst. 797. No arms. Susanoo out of combat. Very scary. While Luo Qiye was shocked, he had already taken advantage of the gap between Susanoo's blocking of the knife, and made the second move. A mysterious force was quickly released from Luo Qiye's body. Released without the slightest pause. No chant. Can't even sing. On the entire huge Mobi DK, a terrifying force centered on Luo Qiye appeared. Hado no 90 Black Coffin. Purple-black energy, like lightning, swept out between Luo Qiye's hands. All of a sudden, a purplish-black energy, like a Shinigami coming to the world and judging everything in the world, appeared around Whitebeard in vain. A purple-black wall appeared, and Whitebeard was completely enveloped in just a breath. Where Whitebeard was originally, a gigantic black coffin appeared. This black coffin exudes a power that does not belong to this world. Exudes an atmosphere that makes all the captains of the Whitebeard pirates frightened and shocked. Advertisement. Majestic endless. Horror boundless. On the black coffin, black long swords appeared, piercing directly into the black coffin seef. Wow. The moment this scene appeared, all the people watching the battle in the distance were in an uproar, and I don't know how many pirates subconsciously took a few steps back. They were beyond shocking. I just feel my scalp tingling. It's terrifying. What ability is this? Like out of this world. Whitebeard, buried by that black coffin. As this Luo Qiye's real whole card. Even though it's so far away, I still feel a power that makes my heart tremble. This power is really terrifying. Who the hell is Luo Qiye? Why is he able to use such terrifying power? Whitebeard is really going to be defeated. This force is terrifying. Even if you look at it from a distance, you will feel horrified. The pirates in the distance kept exclaiming. Jewelry Bonnie couldn't help but gasped. This is his real power. It seems my worries are unnecessary. She subconsciously showed worry before. Until I saw this scene. Heart finally let go. The giant black coffin. A great black coffin in which Whitebeard is buried. Morgans was both excited, but at the same time felt his scalp tingling and trembling. Luo Qiye is an existence that he can't afford to provoke. His move is destined to be remembered by the world again. For Yan Calamity Jin, he also felt a burst of heart palpitations. I actually felt an unprecedented crisis from a 10-year-old kid. He muttered to himself, thoughtful in his heart. And beside him, the pirates of the beast's pirates stared at the huge black coffin in awe, their pupils constricting sharply. This kid's ability is so weird. I've only felt this frightening breath from Captain Kaido. Damn it. My legs are shaking uncontrollably. Damn it. I'm a member of the 4 Emperor's Beasts Pirates. Such a force, we simply cannot resist. Exclamations continue. On the Mammoth, Baron Eggy and Stussy were shocked again. Advertisement. This power. So terrifying. This is not something we can resist. Only Fujitora smiled and frowned wildly. At this time, he was more emotional than being shocked by Luo Qiye's move, but worried. The hand holding the stick sword has already made the gesture of drawing the sword. Paramesha gravity fruit ability, wrapped around his sword. And on the Mobi DK. The breath of Shinigami is stronger. Daddy. Damn it, kid, what did you do to daddy? Many captains looked at Black Coffin, and at the same time they called out their daddy one by one. They pulled out their weapons one after another, aiming at Luo Qiye with strong hatred. All this is a long story, but it actually happened in a very short time. After Luo Qiye used the non-chanting version of Hado's 90 Black Coffin, the whole person took a step forward in vain, and the whole person rushed out like a cannonball. The long river of swords that was suspended in the sky roared mighty and mightily, and the swords flew to Luo Qiye's feet, patting him down. Edgeworth flying technique. At the same time, Luo Qiye's movements did not stop at all. He grabbed a long sword and pointed to the sky with one hand. One sword opens the gate of heaven. Accompanied by Luo Qiye's smashing sound, a slash hit the sky. Boom. The endless sky seems to be cut open in an instant, the clouds all over the sky are rolled back, dazzling light shines towards the sea below, and a heavenly gate appears from the light. A giant sword composed of kendo power was born from the gate of heaven. At the moment of its birth, it carries a shocking aura that can destroy the sky and destroy the earth. Is this going to take advantage of the victory and kill Whitebeard? All the pirates in the distance raised their heads subconsciously. Look to the sky, looking up to Luo Qiye. Look up to that terrifying sword. All the pirates' scalps were numb. If this sword fell, with their strength, they would definitely be buried in the sea on the spot. Stop. Marco, who reacted the fastest, suddenly shook his blue flame wings, and he transformed into a phoenix form, quickly soaring into the sky, rushing towards Luo Qiye in midair. At this time, Luo Qiye did not look at Marco, let alone Whitebeard, but looked into the distance. Red hair. 094. I'm just a passing swordsman. Remember it for me. Advertisement. Help me. Luo Qiye's voice sounded. Quote question mark. Quote. Everyone who originally thought that Luo Qiye would hit Whitebeard hard, was astonished when they heard Luo Qiye's words. They all looked at Luo Qiye above the sky in astonishment. Even Marco, who rushed over, was taken aback. Bang. A sharp voice sounded from a distance. And before the sound sounded, there was a sniper bullet, carrying a dark black substance like lightning, sniping towards Ma Ke. Yasop. The moment Marco saw the sniper bullet, he didn't dare to be careless, he pushed forward. The countless blue flames on his body quickly gathered in front of him. A blue flame round shield with boundless vitality quickly formed in front of him. A smaller version of the undead thistle. Luo Qiye's eyes flashed. This move in the original work blocked Dan Jillian's all-powerful blow. Puff. The sniper bullet sank into the flame round shield, and it kept making collision sounds, while Marco kept regenerating the shield with blue flames. Finally the bullet disappears. The round shield in front of Marco also disappeared, and he looked up at the sea. Red force is coming. And what attracted everyone's attention was Usopp holding a sniper rifle on the observation deck. It's the Red Hair Pirates. They're here. Is there really going to be a war between the four emperors? Gotcha. Almost at the same time, the originally huge black coffin was hit by a shock wave, turning into fragments like a shattered mirror, and rolled out. Black coffin broken. Whitebeard held a naginata in one hand and made a fist with the other, standing proudly on the spot. The sea breeze blew his white cloak, making a hunting sound. Whitebeard looked up at Luo Qiye and laughed loudly. Gu la la la. The old man thought it was some kind of mysterious power. I didn't expect it to be this little. Hiss. Many pirates gasped when they saw Whitebeard, who appeared to be safe and sound. Advertisement. Only at this time did everyone realize the true horror of the four emperors. That huge terrifying force didn't even hurt Whitebeard. Is this the terrifying defense of the four emperors? Being able to trap Whitebeard for a while is already the limit under the four emperors. However, Luo Qiye's huge sword born from the sky did not fall. Maybe there is a chance to hurt Whitebeard. So what if I get hurt? Shish. The Red Hair Pirates are here. At this time, the pirates turned their attention to Red Force one after another. The pirate ship dragging the huge white waves is quickly approaching the Moby DK. Tread. Marco landed next to Whitebeard first, and he said nervously, Dad. Daddy. Many captains stepped forward and expressed their concern. Whitebeard waved his hand, indicating that it's okay. But Marco caught a trace of strangeness. There are streaks of blood between Whitebeard's teeth. Luo Qiye's black coffin move just now must have caused a lot of damage to the old man. As a ship's doctor, Marco immediately wanted to act and treat Whitebeard. But after understanding what Whitebeard meant, Marco no longer persisted, but looked forward like all the captains. Everyone, can you give my red hair a face? The battle ends here. Standing on the Red Force deck, the sea breeze blew his empty sleeves rattling. With one arm, he was still full of haki, especially the 3 scratch marks on the corners of his eyes. He looked directly at the many members of Whitebeard. Finally, the eyes fell on Whitebeard. If anyone wants to continue, come and fight me. While talking, Red Force approached the Moby DK. Redheads take a step. Aboard the Moby DK. Boom. A majestic and endless conquerors haki, accompanied by Red Hair stepping into the Moby DK, swept out on the spot. Those white group pirates who had just woken up rolled their eyes again and passed out. The team leader. Gu la la la. Whitebeard laughed loudly, and the supreme sharp knife Kong Yunchi spun around suddenly in his hand. The conqueror's haki was wrapped around the naginata, and he slashed towards the red hair. What are you talking about, red-haired boy? The red hair didn't give in at all, pulled out the griffin, and slashed with his sword. The battle between the two four emperors. Asking for flowers. Advertisement. The moment the naginata and griffin slashed together, a terrifying energy vibrated, the sword slashed and knocked down the sky, and the purple-black lightning-like substance shot straight into the sky. It's the conqueror's haki's tangled sword clash. Gotcha. There was already a sky scar in the sky, and a sky-wide crack was cut out again. All the pirates below saw this scene, their scalps felt numb, their heartbeats accelerated, and a sense of terror spread throughout their bodies. Just one hit. The terrifying power between the two four emperors is revealed. What a terrifying power. The sky was cut into 2 cracks. Does this also prove that Luo Qiye's move already has the power of 4 emperors? 0. Pirates looked up at the 2 cracks in the sky and compared them subconsciously. At the same time, many red-haired cadres boarded the Moby DK one after another. Marco. Ben Beckman smoked a cigarette, pointed a rifle at Marco, and said with murderous intent, do you want to continue? Lackey Lu, Usopp, Deeg and other cadres stood behind Hongfa and Ben Beckman one after another, and they would launch a war at any time with just one order. And the captains of the Whitebeard pirates, not to be outdone, Jozu, Vista, Bramank, etc., all armed with weapons, greeted the Red Hair pirates. The atmosphere is tense. Tension. A war between the 4 emperors could break out at any moment. At this time, the instigator, Luo Qiye, stepped on the sword and walked down step by step. Every time he takes a step, a sword will automatically fall to his feet. Like a ladder from the void. Don't worry about me, you hit yours. I'm just a swordsman passing by to deliver a message. Remember it all for me. Boom. Before Luo Qiye finished speaking, the huge sword that was hanging upside down in the sky suddenly stabbed down with an earth-shattering aura and amazing destructive power that could pierce everything. Uncle Yishao, do it. As soon as these words came out, the faces of all the pirates on the sea changed dramatically. No one thought that at this time, Luo Qiye would suddenly strike and die. 095. Meticulous thought. Terrorist means. A shocking sword before the end. Advertisement. Hearing Luo Qiye's words, the Whitebeard pirates were stunned. Even Whitebeard himself couldn't help but stare. Everyone in the Red Hair pirates also turned their heads and looked at Luo Qiye with surprised eyes. However, except for Luo Qiye, there were only 2 people in the audience who reacted quickly and acted on the spot. Seeing that the blind Fujitora smiled, and before Luo Qiye's voice fell completely, he took a step forward, and instantly slashed out the stick and sword that had been prepared for a long time. The other figure is Flame Calamity Jin. When he realizes the crisis, Fujitora's smile has raided. Terrifying gravity exploded beneath his feet. Boom. Flame Calamity Jin turned into a pteranodon. With flaming wings, he flapped suddenly, and his whole body flew into the air like a cannonball. Forcibly broke free from the terrifying gravity attack. But a hole appeared on the deck where he was originally standing under, 663, piercing through the whole of the entire pirate ship. Even the sea water below the pirate ship is affected by gravity, evaporates and disappears, leaving only a bottomless abyss hole. The huge pirate ship instantly tilted. Many pirates from the Beast's pirates who were originally above shouted out in horror on the spot. Run for your life. While screaming. Above the midair, the huge sword whizzed down, stabbing fiercely at Flame Calamity Jin. Hateful. Flame Calamity Jin let out an angry cry. He didn't choose hard steel, and forcibly used the power of the ancient species to move in midair. Avoid the frontal assassination of this giant sword. Thorn. Blood flies from the wings of Flame Calamity Jin. Just scratched by the giant sword. Shocking wounds. Immediately, the diameter of the great sword fell on the pirate ship of the Beast's pirates. Boom. The terrifying power pierced through the entire pirate ship in an instant, and the amazing destructive power even tore the ship completely apart, followed by the sound of explosions. Ah, help. Lord Jin. Help. Damn, why did you suddenly attack us? Advertisement. Damn it, run for your life. Many pirates in Beast's pirates are screaming and trying to escape. They have nowhere to run. Because this one gets ripped apart fast. None of the pirates above could escape, and all fell into the sea. Some pirates were even annihilated on the spot by a sword from the sky, and ceased to exist. Even the pirates who were far away, because of the explosion of the hull, they burst into battle. The original huge Beast's pirates ship was wiped out on the spot and no longer exists. Damn it. Flame Calamity Jin took a hard look at Luo Qiye, then vibrated the wing of the pterosaur, and rushed out towards the distant sea. Only scattered flames and a smell of blood remained, showing his embarrassment. The red hair pirates are all here, and he doesn't dare to stay. Not to mention a fight with Luo Qiye. Certainly. Even if the red hair is not here, with Fujitora smiling, Luo Qiye is not afraid of the fire disaster Jin. What a pity. Luo Qiye looked at Yan Calamity Jin who fled away, his eyes were full of regret, and he shook his head. If you can keep him, this trip will not be in vain. It's a pity, but... Quote. And all this. But the red-haired people were completely dumbfounded. Everyone in the Whitebeard pirates is no exception. How could they have thought that when Luo Qiye was fighting Whitebeard, he would dare to be distracted and attack Flame Calamity Jin? The point is, it worked. If it wasn't for Yan Calamity, Jin is a dragon fruit capable of flying, an ancient species, and a person with the ability to fly in the form of a pteranodon, with the ability to fly super fast. Luo Qiye's surprise attack on the unsuspecting sword, I'm afraid it can really save him. The next Vice Emperor. This slap in the face surprised everyone in the Whitebeard pirates. This kid, what is in his head? You actually dare to attack Flame Calamity Jin while you were fighting with us. This kid is crazy. It really is a monster. Has the times really changed? How meticulous are the 10-year-old brats, such terrifying methods, and such exaggerated strength. With such a brat, red hair pirates will definitely grow one step further in the future. Many cadres of the Baituan thought in surprise in their hearts. Their shocked eyes looked at Luo Qiye without reservation. It's like watching a monster. Advertisement. Even the various means Luo Qiye showed before have made them a little numb. But when this round of attacking east and west, raiding Flame Calamity Jin and destroying the entire Beast's pirates pirate ship, many white regiment leaders were shocked again. In their eyes, Luo Qiye is no longer a brat who has the power of a monster but can only be arrogant, but an existence that all of them can't see through. Wow. The many pirates watching the battle from afar. It was an uproar one by one. When Luo Qiye attacked the Whitebeard pirates, he still didn't forget the existence of the Beast's pirates. Crazy. Really crazy. Such a method actually appeared on a 10-year-old kid. It's unbelievable. If it wasn't for Flame Calamity Jin's ability to fly, maybe even he would have explained it here. This is, the first person under the Beast's pirates 4 Emperors Kaido. This way of attacking east and west, this meticulous thinking, like an old monster. But he, is just a kid. While the pirates were in an uproar, Morgan's heart was beating wildly. Because he was too excited before, he forgot that there is also a grudge between him and Luo Qiye. He really provoked Luo Qiye. Thinking of this, Morgan's scalp tingled for a while. Slip. He immediately jumped and ordered his subordinates to start the boat quickly, jump quickly. Hurry up. Just in case Luo Qiye frees up his hands to deal with them. For Morgan's, it is definitely a disaster. He can't fly. On the 0.6 Mammoth, Baron Eggy and Stussy were both in the same panic. Luo Qiye's methods let them see another him. If the two of them dare to be unfavorable to Luo Qiye, with a high probability, he will be killed by Luo Qiye without hesitation. There was a storm in the hearts of the two of them. Moby DK aboard. The original tense atmosphere was completely broken by Luo Qiye. Ha ha ha. The red hair was the first to put away the longsword griffin. Seeing this scene, the two forces also put away their weapons one after another. The Four Emperors pirate group, which was about to break out in war, suddenly all tacitly restrained. Shanks laughed heartily. He said with a hearty and bold smile, "Qiye, who is that blind swordsman? Why don't you call him up? Let's have a party." 096. Ace. Blackbeard. Everyone shakes. Finish. Please subscribe automatically. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. The first half of the Grand Line. Alabasta. Fire Fist Ace, who is appearing in the Desert Kingdom, is wearing an orange cowboy hat, his body is covered by a robe, and he holds several newspapers in his hand. He looked at the news about the Whitebeard pirates and the guy named Qiye. Imps from the Red Hair Pirates. Fun. When did Shanks recruit such an interesting kid, dare to challenge dad in his teens? This kid named Qiye is even more troublesome than Luffy was when he was a child. Oh, Squid lost to him, and he didn't even have the qualifications to let him shoot. Ha ha ha, interesting. It's so interesting. What? Vista was also defeated by his sword. Are Vista's famous two-sword Nirvana? What kind of kendo talent is this? That guy Jozu was also defeated, the power of the golden god of war. Ha ha ha, they were all defeated by a brat. I can imagine that the expressions of many brothers on the Moby DK must be very funny, very wonderful. Ha ha, if you compete with this brat, it won't be a happy thing. Ace flipped through the newspapers until Ace saw the news about himself. The smile on his face stopped abruptly and froze for 24 on the spot. Open black lens bracket. Big news. Big news that shocked the world. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Whitebeard Pirates, captain of the second team, Fire Fist Ace, his mysterious life was exposed by Luo Qiye, close black lens bracket. According to Luo Qiye's revelation, and confirmed by the Whitebeard Pirates, Fire Fist Ace turned out to be One Piece, Gore D. Roger, who opened the Age of Great Voyages. Opening square bracket. Closing square bracket. When Ace saw this news, his heart was shocked, and a hint of hatred appeared on his face hidden under the brim of his hat. What One Piece? But a coward who abandoned his wife. Ace's hatred for his father was aroused again. It took him several minutes to calm down. The blood of the devil is flowing on my body, and I shouldn't have been born. Maybe I will be cast aside by the world. But, so what? I have already found my companion on this sea, the companion I want to protect, and that younger brother who likes to get into trouble. Born in this world, you will never be alone forever. Ace has it all in his mind. He wants to make Whitebeard the One Piece. Thinking about Avenge Sage. It is also the first half of the Grand Line. Advertisement. Captain, are you watching the Le Mans news again? The big man Giza's Badger said in a low voice, what happened today? A kid named Qiye who is only in his teens, is challenging the Whitebeard Pirates. Thieves ha ha ha. Holding the newspaper, Blackbeard Marshal D. Teach gave a characteristic maniac laugh, showing his jagged teeth with missing front teeth. Unexpectedly, the 10-year-old kid from Red Hair Pirates single-handedly killed the Whitebeard pirate. The captain of the regiment is defeated. Thief ha ha ha. There is even more shocking news. That kid named Qiye actually said that Ace is the son of Roger, the pirate king. It seems to have been confirmed. Thief ha ha ha. Our goal. Fire Fist Ace. As long as we catch him, we can still make a deal with naval headquarters, and get the status of 7 warlords of the sea. At that time, I will be able to enter Impel Down. Blackbeard laughed wildly triumphantly. Captain, should we keep an eye out for that kid from the Red Hair Pirates too? Devil Sheriff Lafitte said, there are many secrets in this kid. Terrifying talent in swordsmanship, ability to command swords, extremely strong power of the golden god of war. Observation Haki, armament Haki, and conquerors Haki. When did the Red Hair Pirates have such a scary kid? Van Oka held the sniper rifle and said in surprise, the captain is not worried, will this brat pose a threat to us in the future? Thief ha ha ha. Blackbeard laughed wildly, like a deranged gambler. He didn't care about this at all, and he didn't seem to mind at all that there was such a monster as Luo Qiye on this sea. He laughed and said, I just need to follow my plan and get the shock fruit. At that time, even if the red-haired Shanks comes in person, he will still be no match for me. You are just a brat, what is there to worry about? Quote. Thief ha ha ha. Marlene Vando Island, Naval Headquarters. Marshal's office. 3 older Marines were on the table, reading newspapers and marine information. Another troublesome brat. Garp was digging his nostrils, and he said carelessly, Sengoku, I think, if you let that little girl from Gion go, it's better to let the old man go and capture that little devil named Qiye back to the army with his own hands. Hey, watch your words. Staff Crane glared at Garp. Gion is not a doll. The task given to her, she will not fail. Ha ha ha. Garp laughed dryly in embarrassment, and could only continue picking his nose. Sengoku next to him had a headache. While chewing on the senbei, he muttered, this kid named Qiye is showing more and more exaggerated fighting power. This also means that those who want him to join the marine, the degree of difficulty is getting bigger and bigger. Let the old man think again. New world. On a certain piece of sea, a small boat like a coffin is floating. Hawkeye leaning against the cross-mast looked at the newspaper in his hand, and there were flashes of light in those sharp eagle-like eyes. Advertisement. You kid, Qiye, actually learned Vista's ultimate move, Rose Rondo, just by looking at it. But what kind of swordsmanship are these? I haven't seen it on him before. A sound of sword comes, commanding thousands of swords. The river of swords is mighty for thousands of meters. And this, the sword doesn't open the door. What kind of sword is it? Hawkeye looked at the news in the newspaper in shock. If it wasn't for the photo of Luo Qiye when the newspaper was attached, Eagle Eye would not have believed it was true. There are pictures and truth. Hey, Qiye is a lot more interesting than Shanks, next time we meet. I won't hold back. If I knew I should have gone to the Whitebeard pirates. Hawkeye felt itchy. I really want to discuss swordsmanship with Luo Qiye. Now it seems that we can only wait for the next time. 967 afterwards, Hawkeye continued his boring sea drifting career. New World. Moby DK aboard. The Whitebeard pirates and the Red Hair pirates have reached a consensus on the banquet at this time. Banquet. Ready to start. And Luo Qiye has also let Fujitora aboard the Moby DK with a smile, and introduced him to everyone. To Luo Qiye's surprise, Stussy also followed. As for Baron Egg, after seeing the arrival of the Red Hair pirates, he looked away. FTE. Don't dare to poach the wall in front of the four emperors. Wable is in a state of circle all the time, he can only stay. It's not that Whitebeard recognized his son. Instead, he stayed as a passerby. Otherwise, with his IQ, if he went to sea alone, he might be tricked into selling it, and he would count the money for others. Hey, Qiye, what do you mean by the peace team? Lackey Lu asked curiously, when did we have this peace team? I created it myself. Luo Qiye smiled seriously. Then, he glanced at the members of the Whitebeard pirates, and finally took another look at Whitebeard, and said seriously, the establishment of the nuclear ping fan team is naturally for a real war that is coming and is destined to change the world pattern. 097. Spoiler. I am a remnant of the old era, and the new era has no boat to carry me. Advertisement. The party on the Moby DK has begun. Many pirates in the distance didn't dare to stay, so they hurried away. To be able to witness today's thrilling battle. This trip has been worth it. Many pirates even feel that their pirate career is worth it. The big vortex spider, Scabbard, had no face to stay, and after saying goodbye, he left. Although his hatred for Ace has not subsided, he also knows that it is the worst thing to do to his father. No matter what, Dad never owed him anything. I was really dazzled by hatred before. WWW. At this time, the Red Hair pirates and the Whitebeard pirates all looked at Luo Qiye. And at this moment, open black lens bracket ding, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be coquettish in a row, and you have obtained the pretense point plus 66666, close black lens bracket. The long overdue system prompt sounded suddenly. If there is no notification sound, Luo Qiye thinks the system is broken. How long has it been? From the confrontation with Brother Xiao Ma, to the confrontation with Whitebeard, and then the red-haired and others arrived to act aggressively, there has been no system prompt for so long. It almost made Luo Qiye think that the system was broken. But this time, he got more than 60,000 pretense points. Still very enjoyable. Luo Qiye estimated that he now has more than 200,000 pretense points. Finally broke the record of 100,000 pretense points. But now is not the time for the lottery. Luo Qiye faced many surprised eyes, but he was not in a hurry. He smiled slowly. Don't ask me how I know, I won't tell you if you ask. The old man has heard that above this sea, there is a kind of ability called prophecy. Fujitora held the wine with a smile, took a sip, showed a satisfied smile, and then continued, it's not the ability of devil fruit, but the real divination. Luo Qiye blinked. I didn't expect to be filled with a smile by Fujitora. All right. Anyway, pirate world has all kinds of strange abilities, which can be explained. Luo Qiye smiled at Fujitora, who was drinking with a group of pirates. I can't help but think of the Admiral identity in the headquarters where Fujitora smiled 2 years later in the original book. Who would have thought that the Admiral of headquarters was drinking and eating meat with the Whitebeard pirates and the Red Hair pirates? This picture is simply not too beautiful. Okay. Advertisement. The people present are all members of the four emperors. They have a lot of experience and have heard of various strange abilities more or less. In addition to various strange abilities, there are also many strange races. Not surprising. What's more, as we all know, Observation Haki can see the future after practicing to ultimate. Everyone was just curious, how did Luo Qiye manage such an ability? The abilities appearing on Luo Qiye now are already strange enough and varied enough. The key is that he still knows the identity of Ace, the race of Flame Calamity Jin. These aren't super secrets though. But on this sea, there are not many people who really know it. As a 10-year-old child, how could Luo Qiye know so much? Shanks and Ben Beckman exchanged glances. Both saw doubt in the other's eyes. Ben Beckman has already begun to doubt Luo Qiye's identity. This guy, Qiye, couldn't be secretly cultivated by some force, right? Deliberately arrange people to attack on the small island passed by the Red Hair pirates, and then stage a bitter plan. Finally joining the Red Hair pirates. Otherwise. How to explain that Luo Qiye already knew Observation Haki when he first boarded Red Force? Still dodging Rockstar's attack. Ben Beckman's doubts are getting heavier. The more he thinks, the more likely he feels. But, Shanks didn't seem to mind this. He boldly drank a bowl of wine, and said with a smile, Qiye, according to what you said, will we participate in that war? The redhead asked this sentence. In fact, it was also a question that both the two pirate groups present were curious about. All of a sudden, many pirates looked at Luo Qiye. Especially the many captains of the Baituan. Even Whitebeard couldn't help but look at Luo Qiye. It was getting late, and the bonfire on the Moby DK was brightly lit. The banquet is going on. But at this time, everyone's eyes fell on Luo Qiye, who laughed lightly and said nonsense in a serious manner. Actually, I only knew about that war by relying on prophecy. But, you know, the consumption of prophecy is very exaggerated. If you want to figure out the participants and the follow-up, this needs a little help. What do you need? The red hair and others asked in surprise. Didn't expect Qiye to really know prophecy. It shouldn't be. They had never heard of Qiye having this ability before. Only Laji Lu was inexplicably thinking about the food he left behind when he sent Luo Qiye away, and he didn't know how Qiye survived and came to the Whitebeard pirates without the real thing. It must have suffered a lot. In other words, Qiye won't even count this, can he? Advertisement. Will he hold a grudge? Laji Lu felt a little guilty, so he quickly added a roast leg of lamb to Luo Qiye. Come on, Qiye, make up your body. Luo Qiye, what I want is not barbecue. Boy Qiye, if you need anything, just ask. Whitebeard laughed. He held a wine barrel and took a sip of wine. If you can give it to you, just take it. Oh, Luo Qiye sighed, and said quietly, I need special energy, the power of devil fruit, Logia and Eudemons are the best choices, if not, Paramesha and Zone are also fine. Ben Beckman took a strange look at Luo Qiye. The red-haired face was stunned. It actually needs the power of devil fruit. It's true. I heard that the world government has made great progress in the research on devil fruit. Not only can the devil factor be used to artificially create devil fruit, fruit can also use special means to give devil fruit abilities to weapons, turning weapons into living things. Stussy was all too familiar with this. But she was curious. Didn't they get 5 man-made devil fruits before, and they didn't see Luo Qiye using them? Why did Luo Qiye want more? We do have 2 devil fruits, but we don't know what ability it is. Marco hesitated for a moment and said, there is no devil fruit illustration book. Many people get devil fruit, and they don't necessarily know what ability it is. However, the Whitebeard pirates did not allow members to eat these 2 devil fruits because of this. But after the Blackbeard incident broke out, the entire Whitebeard pirate group developed a sense of hatred for devil fruit. So much so that in the huge 4 Emperors pirate group, there are only 2 devil fruits. After a while, Brother Ma appeared with 2 devil fruits. The shape of these 2 devil fruits is very strange. They are not apples, fire, Didi, dragon fruit, or bananas, but 2 kinds of fruit shapes that Luo Qiye has never seen before. Luo Qiye was also polite, and accepted it on the spot, and he looked at the red hair again. Say something. Captain, you are so mean. We do not have. The redhead was drinking happily, and there were 2 red wine blotches on his face, not 1. Luo Qiye, how is it that what I said is so similar to the phrase, there is no drop left? The wool is not plucked into the inside. What a pity. Cough cough. Luo Qiye pretended to be profound, closed his eyes, and made a few unfathomable gestures. These are the gestures depicted in various arcane novels he read before traveling. I saw the last picture of that war. Whitebeard. Death. He looked at Whitebeard and said in a deep voice, your last line before dying is. I am a remnant of the old era, and the new era has no boat to carry me. As soon as Luo Qiye said these words, the audience fell into a sluggish moment. 098. Shock the white group. Not only will Whitebeard die, but the entire Whitebeard will disband. Advertisement. Rub rub rub. In the next moment of sluggishness, the members of the Whitebeard pirates who were drinking and eating meat suddenly stood up. They looked at Luo Qiye one by one, with extremely complicated expressions in their eyes. Some are unbelievable, some cannot believe it, and some are hatred. What's the meaning? As this cursing father. Damn it, Qiye brat, you can eat indiscriminately, but you can't talk indiscriminately. Dad will live a good life. Keep going. That's right. Dad hasn't become the One Piece yet, how could he die because of a war? What a joke. Qiye, I appreciate you very much, but please take back what you just said. This is disrespect to the old man. Please take it back. Many captains looked at Luo Qiye. This sentence, I don't want to say it. Ben Beckman quickly pulled Luo Qiye, motioning him to come closer to him and not to talk too much. It's protecting him. Are you kidding me? Shanks laughed. He knew that with Luo Qiye's character, although he would occasionally brag and be arrogant, there was a high probability that he would not make such a joke. War. Captain, I'm not joking. Whether we participate or not is not the point. Luo Qiye said seriously, and he looked at the Whitebeard pirates again, I suggest you be mentally prepared. Hearing this sentence, the eyes of many captains sank, and even the faces that were originally elated because of the banquet changed one after another. Only Whitebeard kept a kind smile. He has accepted Luo Qiye and others, with his Whitebeard demeanor, how could he be angry because of a single sentence? Not to mention, the phrase, I am a remnant of the old era, and the new era has no boat to carry me, is indeed very much in line with my own taste. Comma. Gu la la la. Whitebeard smiled heartily, this is a good joke. I don't know what caused this war. I think you already have the answer in your heart. Luo Qiye looked at Whitebeard, shook his head and said, in the war in the near future, not only you will die, but the entire Whitebeard pirate group will also suffer heavy casualties, and because of this, they will completely disappear in the sea of New World Superior. What? Many members of the Baituan immediately took a step forward when they heard this sentence. That posture. If you are stimulating them, you will definitely do it on the spot. Flip on the spot. This is impossible. Qiye kid, you don't know what you're talking about. We are the Whitebeard pirates, how could we disband for a war? Don't be kidding. Stop talking. Many white group pirates couldn't help but speak. They don't believe that the real home in their hearts, the Whitebeard pirates will be disbanded because of a war. Still can't believe that Papa Whitebeard will die. The Whitebeard pirates have experienced wars, big and small, not 1,000, but hundreds. Advertisement. Which battle is not extremely dangerous? But they didn't sacrifice any of their family members. Because they never abandon any of their family members. That's the beauty of the Whitebeard pirates. Only. Right now, Luo Qiye actually said that their father Whitebeard will die, and even the whole Whitebeard will be disbanded. How is this possible? Even if it's just a joke, they can't accept it. And hearing this, even the redhead couldn't help but hold Luo Qiye, motioning him to stop talking. Go on. If not, a war will break out now. As for Luo Qiye's words, there are some truths and some falsehoods. Redhead and Whitebeard probably have the answer in their hearts. Even Ben Beckman and Marco have the answer in their hearts. Both of them couldn't help worrying. Especially Marco. When Luo Qiye looked over, he found that there was a sense of belonging on the former's face. He looks very much like him in the Wanokuni chapter 2 years later in the original book. Gu la la la. Interesting, if there is such a day, I think I should have no regrets. Whitebeard was not angry, but smiled and held the barrel high, and said with a bold smile, come on, let's toast to today's reunion. Seeing Dad like this, many pirates in the Baituan can also raise their wine bowls and glasses high. The red hair and others also joined together. Luo Qiye and Fujitora smiled. Stussy and others also raised their glasses. Cheers to today's reunion. If there is such a battle in the future, I hope to fight side by side with everyone here. Fight side by side. Cheers everyone. The mood of the banquet came to a head. The 4 emperors pirate groups, clink glasses together, eat meat together, and celebrate together. The atmosphere is so lively. Because of Luo Qiye's words, all members of the Whitebeard pirates cast a shadow of Shikong in their hearts. Them. Worry what Luo Qiye said is true. After all, Luo Qiye has no reason to deceive them. I can only pray for Luo Qiye's so-called prophecy, no. The banquet didn't end until very late. After the red hair pirates said goodbye to the white group, they returned to the red force and took a rest. And the captains of the Whitebeard pirates, none of them could sleep. Because of Luo Qiye's words, the entire Whitebeard pirate group was shrouded in a haze. In the cabin, Daddy, Marco gritted his teeth and said, Luo Qiye said. Idiot, don't care about these things. Advertisement. Whitebeard didn't care. He waved his hand and laughed loudly. Gu la la la, it's just a prophecy, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, the important thing is that we are all together. Quote. That's what Whitebeard wants most, to be with his family. Father is absolutely right. Right. As long as all the family members of our Whitebeard pirates are together, it is more important than anything else. Fight shoulder to shoulder and overcome difficulties together, haha. Yeah, regardless of the war, how can our Whitebeard pirates become afraid just because of one sentence? That's not the style of our Whitebeard pirates. Just as everyone was expressing their admiration, suddenly the vice captain of the second team asked, he wonders how Captain Ace is doing recently. Ace. Marco was shocked all of a sudden. Family. Ace. He thought of Luo Qiye's previous exposure of Ace's identity. Thinking of what Ace is doing now. Hunt Blackbeard. Blackbeard. Marshal D. Teach. And Luo Qiye's divination. Keywords one by one, like dots of starlight, are constantly gathering and brightening in Marco's mind. Boom. Suddenly, the blue flames on Marco's body surged out uncontrollably. FTE. At that moment just now, control. Captain Marco. What's wrong with you? What happened, Marco? Many members of the white group nearby asked with concern. I'm all right. Marco hurriedly concealed it. He put away the flames, but the ball of light in his heart, made up of dots of starlight, couldn't be lingered. Could it be? Is everything I guessed true? This. Marco couldn't help but look at Whitebeard. Coincidentally, Whitebeard looked at him too. This time, Marco seemed to see an old father who was mighty and domineering in front of outsiders, but kind in front of his son. The old father smiled. He will do his best to give his sons the greatest sense of security. Even if you sacrifice your life, you won't frown. Open black lens bracket, don't worry, close black lens bracket. Marco read this sentence in Whitebeard's eyes. All of a sudden, he was struck by lightning. Did he figure it out too? 099. I will stand in the sky, I am God. Little brother, please subscribe automatically. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. On Red Force. Qiye. Ben Beckman found Luo Qiye. During this period, you have worked hard. What's up, Deputy Captain? As a time traveler, Luo Qiye knew very well the character of Ben Beckman. If he had nothing to do, he would definitely not look for him. And this matter must be related to his recent performance. As expected, Ben Beckman said in a deep voice, then I will speak directly. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to tell me. When you joined us, we didn't investigate your life experience. At that time, we just thought that you were a good kid and everyone liked you, so we let you join our big family. But later on, the various abilities and talents you showed became more and more exaggerated, and became more and more unreasonable. That's why we have the task of sending you a letter. During this time, we also investigated you. It's a pity that we didn't get useful news. According to the statements of the villagers who were rescued by us before, your parents who died were not biological parents, but adoptive parents. Even the villagers don't know how you got here. Your adoptive parents have always claimed that they picked you up from the sea, but others say that you were not picked up at all, but someone sent you to your door. We inquired about your life before you were 10 years old. You were completely in the village, just like ordinary children. There is nothing strange about it. We can understand your talents. But how can you explain the strange abilities you know and the secret information you know? Ben Beckman finished speaking slowly, then looked at Luo Qiye. Every member of our Red Hair Pirates can entrust their lives, even if it is a life and death battle. They can also leave their backs to each other's families. What should come, will come after all. Deputy Captain. Luo Qiye raised his head, looked at Ben Beckman, interrupted him, and asked with a smile, as what you said meant what the captain meant. No. Ben Beckman shook his head. I just don't want to see that one day. We will turn against each other and face each other with swords. That would be bad for both of us. Kindness. Luo Qiye smiled. I understand the vice captain's concerns. If the vice captain wants to know everything about my secret, I can tell the vice captain. But after we finish speaking, we will no longer be us. Understanding is understanding. No one wants to have Blackbeard *X on their own pirate team. Luo Qiye is not Blackbeard. Hearing Luo Qiye's words, Ben Beckman froze for a moment. He hesitated. Advertisement. For a long time. Huh. Ben Beckman shook his head. He looked at the familiar yet unfamiliar face in front of him. He looked so immature, but his expression was as mature as an adult. He smiled wryly. Forget it, Qiye. I didn't mean to break your heart. Everyone has their own secrets. I can feel your sincerity from you, and you didn't have any malice towards any of us. Quote. The mate never has to worry. I'll write Red Hair Pirates as enemies. Luo Qiye smiled. In the whole pirate world, what I hate the most are people like Blackbeard. Kindness. Ben Beckman looked at Luo Qiye in astonishment. The whole world of pirates. Deputy Captain, tell me, is there a god in this world? Luo Qiye didn't answer the question, but asked a question instead. God. Ben Beckman asked suspiciously. Do you mean celestial dragons, the nobles of the world? Luo Qiye shook his head. You know I'm not talking about celestial dragons. Just that bunch of rubbish, it's only an insult to God. Ben Beckman frowned slightly. Are you talking about people in the sky? Those Sky Island people who live at a height of 10,000 meters. Sky Island people. I don't mean people who live in the sky, but people who stand in the sky. Luo Qiye's expression was awe-inspiring, and his aura suddenly changed, like a peerless fairy god, and he was still rising steadily. No one stands in the sky from the beginning. Whether it's you or me. Even God. But the window period for the throne of heaven is coming to an end soon. On that day, I will stand in the sky. I am God. Vice Captain. That's the way I'm going. At this moment, Luo Qiye is not like a child at all, but more like a fairy god who holds supreme divine power and overlooks the mortals in the world. The more Ben Beckman listened, the more surprised he became. He was shocked when he heard the last sentence. On that day, I will stand in the sky, and I am God. Saying such words from the mouth of a 10-year-old child should be regarded as the whimsy of children and the idiotic dream of little ghosts. At this moment, Ben Beckman can't even come up with such an idea at all. His mind kept roaring. Advertisement. Constantly echoing Luo Qiye's words just now. With Ben Beckman's usual calm personality, he was shocked by this moment. He shouldn't have believed it. But thinking of Luo Qiye's various performances and abilities during this period. Ben Beckman can't argue with that. Because the ability that Luo Qiye has displayed now can already be called a miracle. So, Mr. Ben Beckman, never worry that I'm going to be a Blackbeard. Luo Qiye said proudly, I don't care about such dirty methods. I don't need such methods. Boom. Unnecessary. A good one doesn't need it. But he, Luo Qiye, doesn't need it. Ben Beckman's heart was shocked again. Luo Qiye's words were like beating a drum, shattering all his original worries and concerns. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you will get plus 1024 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Quote. Luo Qiye was slightly surprised. Can this also receive pretentious points? All right, he just wanted to reassure Ben Beckman of his concerns. Qiye, I'm sorry. Ben Beckman cupped his hands slightly. I should choose to believe in you. It is now, and it will be in the future. Luo Qiye clasped his fists. Thank you for the trust of the deputy captain. It's nothing, I'm leaving. After Ben Beckman left, Luo Qiye then closed the door and prepared to start the lottery draw. But I didn't want to hear the knock on the door. Master Qiye, it's me. The soft female voice resounded, like the ripples in the water of the spring river, soft and silky. The sound alone makes people dream about it. Luo Qiye opened the door, looked at Stussy, and said in surprise, why do you come to my room if you don't sleep in the middle of the night? 100. Stay with me tonight, be a bed-warming girl. Open black lens bracket subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Under the willow waist that was grasped in a firm grip, the slender white straight legs first came into Luo Qiye's eyes. Stussy stepped on a pair of black high heels, showing pointed toes. Master Qiye. Stussy was no longer as frivolous as before, and her tone of voice became calm when she spoke. She said seriously, "Can you let me in to talk? Please come in." Luo Qiye made a gesture of invitation, and waited for her to come in before closing the door. "It's so serious, it's not like your queen of the pleasure district style." Master Qiye is serious. Stussy bowed slightly and saluted. "I came to bother you so late because I wanted to report to Master Qiye." "Oh." Luo Qiye was slightly surprised. "Report what?" Stussy took a breath, and then said, "Some secrets about the CPO, some information about the world government, and any. 477. Information that Lord Qiye wants to know from me, any secrets about me." "Yeah." Luo Qiye has a half smile. "A woman's words are deceitful. Do you think I will believe you if you tell me?" "I can." Stussy bit his lips with silver teeth. "Give me to Master Qiye. Is that okay?" "Sure." Luo Qiye smiled. "It seems that they are planning to stage a bitter trick. You don't really think it'll be as easy to talk as before, do you? Then you can stay with me tonight and be a bed-warming girl." Luo Qiye laughed. "Go and help me make the bed first, and then wait for me in the inner room. Don't disturb me until I come to sleep." "Yes." Stussy shuddered slightly, but quickly adjusted. She was already mentally prepared. "TTE. I sincerely come here to take refuge." There was no extravagance that Luo Qiye thought. As for the reason, soon Luo Qiye will know. Only hope. He will understand then. Luo Qiye lives in a suite. Divided into two, the inside is a sleeping room, and the outside can be used for cultivation in rainy days and the like. Luo Qiye waited for Stussy to enter the room inside. Only then did he sit cross-legged. He took out the 2 tusks from Drought Jack and played with them. "Think back to what you have experienced today. In this round, the Whitebeard pirates acted aggressively and harvested more than 200,000 pretending points. There is no major problem in the battle with the captains of the major teams." Advertisement. Even announced the identity of Ace. It was also in Luo Qiye's plan. Only, in the end, there are 2 places, one is too dangerous, and the other is regrettable. In a dangerous place, nature confronts Whitebeard head to head. With Luo Qiye's current strength, not as good as Whitebeard at all, confronting each other head on, too dangerous, is tantamount to courting death. In other words, Luo Qiye saw that Whitebeard would not kill him. Only then dare to pretend all the way to the end. The arrival of red hair in the back was actually within Luo Qiye's expectation. Before, he intentionally created big disturbances on the Grand Line, and he always indulged and acquiesced in the reports of Morgans. Just to attract the redheads. But, it was too late for the redheads to arrive. This is completely beyond Luo Qiye's imagination. In Luo Qiye's state, it's right that they should arrive early, hold the line for him, and let him step forward to pretend to be aggressive. Result. Almost put Luo Qiye in danger. He knew throughout the whole process that with his current ability, releasing the non-chanting version of Hato's 90 Black Coffin would definitely only be able to hold Whitebeard for a moment. Want to hurt Whitebeard? Luo Qiye never thought about it. Let alone beat Whitebeard. With his current hard power, it is estimated that it will be difficult to win a life and death fight with Captain Fan under the situation of being tough. Therefore, every time Luo Qiye made a move, he used unexpected methods and moves to win with a fatal blow. It is still very difficult to kill a vigilant captain. Another regret. It just failed to leave the flames and embers. He had pretended to attack Whitebeard before, and the sword he had equipped was specifically for the Fire Calamity Jin. I also explained it to Fujitora with a smile before. In the end, the two cooperated fairly well. Unfortunately, the gravitational force of Fujitora's smile failed to bind Flame Calamity Jin. The last sword only hurt Yan Calamity Jin, but failed to achieve serious injuries, let alone capture him alive. Sorry, Luo Qiye thought. I announced the race of Yan Calamity Jin, and I don't know if the world government will take action. If the 5 elders are consistent with the description in the original book, I think, someone should already be looking for Yan Calamity. It's troublesome to fry. This point is very important. Although it was a pity that he could not seriously injure Yan Calamity Jin, it still brought him a lot of trouble. Anyway, offended the beast's pirates. Simply take the initiative. Offend a little bit. Advertisement. As for the Big Mom pirates, the Baron Eggy actually slipped away. Is red hair so scary? Luo Qiye shook his head. Charlotte Linlin has a heart for him. I don't know if it's good or bad. After a little summary, Luo Qiye called out the system. System, how much pretense do I have now? Host, currently has 230,077 points. There are a full 230,000 pretense points. Really? Only by pretending to be aggressive in a big scene can you harvest more pretending points. Luo Qiye was pleasantly surprised, and looked forward to Summit War even more. Think about it. If you install a wave in Summit War, there are not only Whitebeard pirates, all elites of naval headquarters, Blackbeard pirates. It will also be broadcast live. The effect of the live broadcast is more intuitive and shocking than the words in the newspaper. At that time, you will definitely be able to crazily reap the pretentious points. Feeling a little excited just thinking about it. Summit War. Luo Qiye, are here. At this moment, the system prompt sounded again. Congratulations to host, breaking the record of accumulating 100,000 pretense points for the first time, and opening the ultimate lucky draw. Special draw 0.6 prize. Yes, host. The ultimate lottery draw costs 100,000 pretense points, 100% winning, and there is a very high probability that you will be able to draw highly valuable abilities or treasures. Yeah, Luo Qiye was a little moved. This special lottery draw looks very exciting. But, Luo Qiye wants to upgrade Armament Haki and Conquerors Haki again. Never mind. Let's draw. System, here is the ultimate lottery draw. Yes, host spends 100,000 pretense points for the ultimate lucky draw. 100,000 pretense. Just like this, the lottery is gone. When Luo Qiye was in the lottery draw for the first time, he became slightly nervous, just like his first strengthening plus 17 in the offline city back then. It's a gamble-style lottery. Congratulations to host, for getting 101. The redhead with Ben Beckman's shock. Overall enhancement. Open black lens bracket 5/6 for subscription close black lens bracket. Novel image. Advertisement. Congratulations to host, you got 1,000 blades. Weapon, sword. 1,000 blades is one of the national treasures of the assassin world Godforging Kingdom. 1,000 fragments of the blade can change shapes and attack enemies in different ways. Only attack but not defend, unparalleled in the world, it is the most offensive weapon in the world of assassins. Congratulations to host, you have obtained 2. Magic Saber 1000 Blades compatibility, full level. Host can perfectly control the Magic Saber 1000 Blades, master all its attack forms and moves, and can independently develop other attack forms and moves. Apart from host, this no one can control the world. Others get the magic knife Shinran, but it is just an extremely fragile broken knife. Currently it can be realized, may I ask host, is it realized? Magic Saber 1000 Blades. When Luo Qiye heard this name, his heart skipped a beat. To be honest, he really needs a sword right now. And having watched the Assassin's World, he naturally loves the Demon Saber 1000 Blades very much. Didn't expect to get it today. Realize. With surprise, Luo Qiye answered the system. A slight contention that only Luo Qiye could hear, resounded slightly. 24 followed. In the void half a meter in front of Luo Qiye. A purple mysterious light suddenly appeared. At the same time as the purple light appeared, a blue arc-like light also appeared. Purple light and blue light alternate continuously in stripes. Finally, outline the shape of the blade. Pieces of debris are now in midair. Every piece of irregular fragments alternately presents purple light and blue light. Then, pieces of fragments are combined, and the tip of the knife presents a shape. From the tip of the knife to the blade, the fragments continue to combine and extend to form the entire blade. Finally, the black hilt and the scabbard appear together. Magic Saber 1000 Blades. Luo Qiye grabbed the Demon Saber 1000 Blades that was fully manifested in front of him. A mysterious feeling emerged from his palm, and immediately swam through every tendon in his body, every acupuncture point and every 10 points. This moment, it's like recognizing the Lord with a drop of blood. Luo Qiye only thinks that he is the master of this magic sword Shinran. There is also a mysterious power in his body. Can control the power of the magic knife 1000 Blades. Only then did Luo Qiye take a closer look at the Demon Saber 1000 Blades. Black handle, half of the blade is covered with blue stripes. As Luo Qiye slightly exerts force in the palm, the stripes on the blade emit bursts of blue light, and then alternately with purple light, the evil spirit pattern is displayed. Dazzle, cool, handsome. This is the first feeling that the magic knife 1000 Blades gave Luo Qiye. But under this cool and handsome appearance, there is even more power hidden. Only attack but not defend, the world is unparalleled. Advertisement. How can it be a waste of fame? Buzz. With a thought in Luo Qiye's mind, the body of the Demon Saber 1000 Blades turned into fragments, flying out piece by piece, and after flying around in the room, Luo Qiye took it back and reassembled into the blade body. This is a knife that looks like a sword. Beautiful. Luo Qiye can't put it down, enjoy it quietly. It's 100,000 points of pretense, yes. The streamer disappeared, put it in the scabbard. Luo Qiye hangs the magic sword 1000 Blades on his waist, and when he thinks of the ultimate lucky draw, he can't help but want to try it. He still has 130,000 pretense points in his hand. System, draw another ultimate lottery. Host, the ultimate lottery draw needs a cooling time. After each lottery draw, it needs to cool down for 3 days. After 3 days, there can be another ultimate lottery draw. Quote question mark quote. What the hell? And this weird rule. Luo Qiye is drunk. Want to wait for 3 days. Wait. The system, give me a high-level lottery draw. Luo Qiye was short-tempered, determined not to wait, he decisively carried out a round of 10 consecutive draws. Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Congratulations to host, you have obtained the ability to penetrate sound waves. At full level, host can freely control this ability, and when speaking with this ability, you can travel thousands of meters away. Congratulations host, got power plus 60. Congratulations host, get speed plus 71. Congratulations host, got. Congratulations to host, you got. Armament Haki upgrade once. Congratulations host, you got. Conquerors Haki upgrade once. 10 consecutive draws are over. Luo Qiye only felt his own strength, which was greatly improved again. My body feels a lot stronger too. The most intuitive feeling for Luo Qiye is that the duration and destructive power of his use of Susanoo have been improved. Exclamation mark. Hado's 90 black coffin, which he used before, seems to have been strengthened along with the improvement of his physical fitness. Armament Haki upgraded to advanced. Conquerors Haki also raised to intermediate. What's more, Luo Qiye's physical fitness has improved a lot in previous battles. Especially the final confrontation with Whitebeard. Even if it's just for a brief moment. But it made Luo Qiye's Conquerors Haki a qualitative leap. That's a step up in quality. Advertisement. Like the difference between a king and a king. Luo Qiye's current Conquerors Haki is the king who will unify the world and come to court from all nations. System. Check my personal attribute panel. Yes. Personal information panel. Host. Luo Qiye. Age. 10 years old. Strength. 712 10 for normal people. Speed. 540 10 for ordinary people. Stamina. 710 for normal people. Pretentious point. 30,077. Abilities. Sword intent, full level, swordsmanship talent, full level, flying sword, 100% empty-handed sword, full level, Hado's 90 black coffin, full level, sword come, intermediate level, observation haki, advanced, armament haki, advanced, conquerors haki, intermediate, full body Susano, golden, one sword opens the gate of heaven, 550 elementary. Weapon. Magic saber 1000 blades. Seeing this continuously improved attribute, Luo Qiye was filled with faith. In the future, there are more abilities waiting to be unlocked by yourself. Certainly, this needs more pretense. Some at war. Luo Qiye looked forward. I don't know, will it cause a butterfly effect because of my arrival? Master Qiye. At this time, in the bedroom inside, Stussie's soft voice came, everything is ready. But the window period for the throne of heaven is coming to an end soon. Hearing this passage, the red-haired face became extremely exciting. Feel sorry. Even God. Actually, you don't need to look for Qiye. He said, on that day, I will stand in the sky. I am God. In the night wind, no one stands in the sky from the beginning. The moonlight sprinkles silver light, illuminating the sea level, and occasionally sea kings lean out, wanting to hunt night food, but they miss nothing and dive into the bottom of the sea again, stirring up circles of waves, wave light. Ben Beckman said apologetically, Qiye really shouldn't be suspected by me. Do you know what happened to him and me? Red Force. Whether it's you or me. Above deck. What? One-armed Shanks stood at the bow, the wind blowing, he looked at Ben Beckman, we should trust him. 102. Pretending to be aggressive is a bad habit, but I can't seem to quit. 6th update. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host. Your partner has successfully acted pretentiously for you, and you have gained plus 1266 pretense points. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye, who was about to take a break, unexpectedly received a system prompt. There is still someone pretending to be for me. Luo Qiye was a little surprised. There is such a good thing in this world. Luo Qiye stretched his body. It's quite comfortable and comfortable. Pretending is a bad habit, but I can't seem to quit. I don't know if this system can draw the pill that makes me grow up. Luo Qiye twisted his neck. He always felt that the system was fooling him. He had smoked so many times, but he didn't get anything like pills once. Even the magic saber 1000 blades can only be drawn after unlocking the ultimate lucky draw. Etc. This elixir that can make me grow up, won't it also require the ultimate lottery draw to get it? When Luo Qiye thought of this, he felt a little regretful. If I knew it earlier, I would have kept 100,000 acting points, no need. Wait 3 days before drawing the ultimate draw again. Maybe get it yourself. Never mind. Luo Qiye didn't bother to think about this, and regretted it. It's better to pretend to be more aggressive, and harvest more of the actuality of acting aggressively. He goes to the bedroom. Master Qiye. Seeing Luo Qiye come in, Stussie bit his lip, the quilt is already warmed up. Now that the quilt is warmed up, you can go, auntie. Luo Qiye dismissed. Stussie, warm up the quilt and go. What the hell is auntie? No, I finally mustered up the courage and made up my mind to take this step. Stussie, who was half kneeling on the bed, raised his head and looked at Luo Qiye with an aggrieved face. Lord Qiye, still don't trust me. When a person is sleeping, alertness is at a minimum. How could Luo Qiye leave her in his room overnight? It was the same last time, and it is the same this time. Unless she really got Luo Qiye's trust. You were right. Luo Qiye was not polite at all. You can continue to stay by my side, but the test for you will last for a while. Thank you, Lord Qiye. Stussie turned to leave. Luo Qiye lay on the bed and soon fell into a dream. The next day, morning hours. We should go. Advertisement. The redhead waved to Whitebeard and others on the Moby DK next to him. Thank you for your hospitality this time. We will treat you next time. Gu la la la. Whitebeard's hearty laugh. Unique laughter. No unexpected coercion, but a touch of kindness. Red-haired boy, I don't know when we will meet next time. Don't forget to bring some good wine from my hometown to the banquet. Rest assured. The red hair also laughed, and the farewell between the captain and the captain was the same as that of ordinary people. Next time, I will definitely bring the good wine from my hometown, so that the whole group can drink enough. I will say the same thing again, reminding me again, be careful with Blackbeard, his strength is far beyond what it appears on the surface. The redhead pointed to the corner of his eye. The meaning is obvious. The 3 scars around his eyes were left by Blackbeard. The captains of the Whitebeard pirates couldn't help being surprised. But Whitebeard didn't seem to care at all. He smiled and said, "Gu la la la, you don't need to worry." The captain said goodbye to the captain. The others also bid farewell. "Qiye boy, the next time we meet, I won't stay any longer." Whitebeard smiled at Luo Qiye. "Don't worry, the next time we meet, it won't be too far away." Luo Qiye said with a smile, "You really don't want the meeting gift I gave you." Edward Weeble, now on board the Mammoth, successfully fooled by Luo Qiye, turned into the helmsman, waiting for orders to sail. "Gu la la la." Whitebeard laughed heartily, "You should take it away yourself." "All right." Luo Qiye shrugged. "By the way, a friendly reminder, the Beast's pirates have been eyeing your territory for a long time. It is best to suppress the Beast's pirates before that war breaks out. Of course, kill 1 or 2 big kanbans, that would be great. As for Kaido of the Beasts, I'm afraid I can't kill it. I don't know if, according to what those netizens said before crossing, if you give Kaido another devil fruit, can you kill him? Have a chance to try it. Of course, these are things for later." The reason for reminding Baituan so much is because Beast's pirates took the opportunity to host Yutuan's lair when Baituan participated in the Summit War. And the Beast's pirates are now at odds with Luo Qiye. Now if we can use the power of the White Group to suppress the Beast's pirates, why not do it, Kaido? Whitebeard laughed. That kid is very ambitious now. Father, the latest information. At this time, Marco walked forward and said suddenly. Here, the red-haired Shanks also received the information almost at the same time. Naval headquarters made a move on the Beast's pirates. The redhead was slightly taken aback. What's the situation? No way. Has Naval headquarters reached out to New World yet? I thought Naval headquarters would stay in the first half of the Grand Line. What happened? Advertisement. Many members gathered around. The strongest combat force in Naval headquarters, Pelusalino, one of the 3 admirals, and a Logia sparkling fruit-capable user, found Flame Calamity Jin this morning. And, fight. In the end, Jin escaped with serious injuries, and ended the battle. This battle was photographed by many people. Now Marine Admiral's reputation has once again increased. Ben Beckman said slowly. Kizaru, one of the 3 admirals of Naval headquarters. That's right, if it's the other 2 headquarters admirals, they shouldn't be able to reach New World so soon. That's right, even if they cross the red line, it's impossible for them to be so fast. Only with the ability of sparkling fruit can they have such a speed. There was a lot of discussion. Luo Qiye was a little surprised. If nothing else, Kizaru's move this time is not Naval headquarters' intention. It means world government. After all, only the world government cares about the identity of the Flame Calamity Jeharunaria. Only, he actually escaped. Harmful, based on the description of Kizaru's character in the original book. Probably this time, it was Kizaru, the old boy, deliberately paddling and letting Jin go. Pity. While the red hair pirates were discussing a lot, the Baituan's eyes lit up one by one. Flame Calamity Jin was hit hard. I remember he was injured by Qiye before, and now he was severely injured by Kizaru. Dad. We can definitely make a move now. Many members of the White Group have proposed. Before the drought, Jack was severely injured by Luo Qiye, pulled out 2 ivory, and smashed into the bottom of the sea. Even if Lidas is rescued, there are still injuries, right? And another big Kanban was also hit hard. Now is the time to take on the Beast's pirates. Many members of the White Group are worried about the character of the father, and they are not allowed to take advantage of the danger. If you don't do it now. Once, as Luo Qiye predicted, there will be a big battle concerning the life and death of the Baituan. At that time, the Beast's pirates will attack the Baituan's lair. At that time, they will be powerless to resist. Then let's take our leave. The redheads knew it was time to go. The 2 sides waved goodbye. So they parted ways. Red Force and Mammoth headed forward. All the Whitebeard pirates on the Moby DK surrounded Dad one by one. Without exception they all request to fight. Battle the Beast's pirates. 103. Summit War should be able to meet this guy buggy. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe for full order. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Under the clear sky, the rippling blue sea. A mammoth-shaped mammoth bow passed by, dragging long white waves on the sea. Master Qiye. Stussy took the information and reported to Luo Qiye, who was bathing in the sun. In 2 days, we will reach the island in front of us, and we will be able to reach the destination directly after resupplying. It is not far from the destination of our trip. Okay. Luo Qiye stretched out his hand to cover the sun and continued walking. The mammoth is on its way. There are only 4 people on the huge mammoth. Luo Qiye, Stussy, Fujitora with a smile, and Edward Wabel, who doesn't know where to go. Although Stussy killed his mother, he didn't know it at all. He fainted at the time, and he thought his mother thought he lost to Luo Qiye. It was too shameful, so his mother abandoned him. His mother left him without saying goodbye. This guy made up such a plot. Originally Luo Qiye planned to give him to Whitebeard, but who knew that Whitebeard didn't want him? It's good now. Became Luo Qiye's follower. Luo Qiye also looked helpless, thinking about the addition of a free thug. It's actually not bad. With Fujitora's Yishao and Wabel's 313 strengths, and meeting people under the 4 emperors, Luo Qiye can completely pretend to be aggressive. I was with Hongfa and others before, who knew that they said they were going to the world government, and told Luo Qiye not to follow. After all, Luo Qiye has too many secrets, and he has Stussy with him. Then, Luo Qiye separated from Hongfa and the others again. Several days have passed. Luo Qiye was originally aimless, planning to play in New World and reap some small pretentious points by the way. Sit back and wait for Summit War to arrive. However, after several battles, the mammoth suffered some damage. It happened that Luo Qiye also felt that the snatched mammoth was not pleasing to the eye. Simply find a shipyard and build a ship of his own. New World has no shortage of shipyards. But with Luo Qiye's character, he either don't build a boat, and must use the best materials to build a boat. Treasure Tree Atom. This is the best shipbuilding material in One Piece world. Although Luo Qiye is a time traveler, in the original book, the precious tree atom only appeared once, and it was in the capital of Seven Waters in the first half of the Grand Line. Advertisement. Fortunately, Stussy, who is a CCPO, got the information soon. In the Golden City, the largest entertainment ship in Los Angeles, a large-scale auction is being held, and it is rumored that Baoshia. That's the biggest casino in the world too. Hearing about the casino, Heihu smiled and was naturally the first to agree to go. Gambling, but his favorite. And Luo Qiye is also itchy. He has full-level gambling ability. What's more, the head of Golden City, Gilder Tezzolo controls 20% of Bailey in the world. What is this concept? One person controls 20% of the world's wealth. It is equivalent to the 3 stars on the Blue Star before Luo Qiye crossed to Banksea Kingdom. With so much money, it would be too much for God not to win all his money. So the two hit it off and immediately decided to go to the Golden City. Not long, Luo Qiye and others arrived at the island. Supplies are one. The other is to customize the exclusive clothes of the nuclear ping fan team. In island towns, boss, just make a white coat according to the body shape of the 4 of us. Stussy stepped forward and handed a blueprint of the coat shape to the boss. Cut and customize according to this blueprint, especially the 2 lettering on the back. Don't make a mistake. Don't worry, customers, we are professionals. The owner of the Changsho tailor shop, wearing a pair of reading glasses, took the drawing and took a closer look. No problem, this is what we are good at. The 4 of them measured their height and measurements. Leave the deposit and leave the tailor shop. I'm going to buy supplies. Stussy volunteered. Go. Luo Qiye was too lazy to care. Chihi, the old man is going to gamble, do you want to go? Fujitora smiled with a happy expression on his face, and he continued to ask, I just heard someone talking about a casino a little ahead. I'm not going, you go. Luo Qiye gave a lot of Baileys before and gave Fujitora a smile. Those Baileys were all captured from the mammoth. Wable, go back and guard the ship. I'll take a stroll. Advertisement. So the 4 parted ways. Wable went back to the pier and guarded the mammoth. Fujitora smiled and went to the casino in front of him. As the saying goes, he planned to gamble a few games first. Luo Qiye feels exotic in this town. Unexpectedly, there are still many long-handed people living on this island. Some long-handed people perform in street circuses. This made Luo Qiye think of Buggy God tier. Summit War should be able to meet this buggy guy, it's fun. Luo Qiye wandered the streets and bought some snacks to enjoy. Speaking of which, the food in Pirate World is really lacking, either fish in the sea, or seafood sushi. This reminded Luo Qiye of a pirate novel he read in Phailu before crossing over. The protagonist in that book could send things from the pirate world to his parents, and took advantage of the price difference to resell salmon. Started a business. Strolled around. Luo Qiye then returned to the pier, basking in the sun on the mammoth. Not long. Luo Qiye said speechlessly. Fujitora smiled and prepared to get up. The owner of the tailor's long-hand family sent over the custom-made coat. This guy was gone for a long time. Fujitora smiled and faced the place where Luo Qiye disappeared, with a look of surprise on his face. There is a terrible aura hidden. Didn't come back either. Why isn't Stussy back yet? What kind of sword is this? Luo Qiye summoned the demon saber 1000 blades with the flying sword technique, stepped on it, and a blue light flashed, and Luo Qiye had already flown towards the streets of the town. Luo Qiye waved his hand. Let me go, Uncle Yishao, you can't see them here. But what Luo Qiye didn't expect was, old man, go find it. Fujitora returned with a smile. The key is that it has never been unsheathed before, so I can't feel the hidden breath of this sword at all. Wable scratched his head, jumped off the mammoth, walked towards the town, and became Luo Qiye's follower. Luo Qiye was a little annoyed. This woman is troublesome, and she was struggling to buy something. Wable, go and have a look. He had no idea when Luo Qiye had such an extra sword. Good guy. Don't come back, let's go straight away. 104. People like you, even if there are 10 more, they are still no match for Master Qiye. Advertisement. North of the island, several people covered in white robes and wearing masks have just finished fighting. This guy has a bit of strange power. Edward Wable, who is said to be Whitebeard's illegitimate son, was taken by Luo Qiye to the Whitebeard pirates, but was not accepted by Whitebeard. In the end, he should have nowhere to go but follow Luo Qiye. The guy who was born with strange strength, unfortunately, his fighting skills are too poor. He can only punch clumsily. As this guy killed, or brought back. Kill it, it's so big that it can no longer be trained into the machine we need. If it's a kid like Luo Qiye, in his teens, he has a chance to catch him back and train him into the killing machine we need. The 5 people hidden under the white robes are none other than the CPOs from the organizations directly under the world government. And Wable, who came to look for Stussy before, fainted on the ground. There were several holes on the ground, the soil and rocks were messy, and the surrounding houses and trees were completely destroyed. Obviously, there has been a battle of trapped beasts here. Weibo also had many wounds on his body, and blood flowed profusely. On the other hand, the 5 CPOs were all safe and sound. Obviously, the previous battles did not pose any threat to them. Although the surrounding environment was completely destroyed, the 5 of them should be able to avoid the heavy attacks of Weibo with ease. Of course, this has something to do with Weibo's lack of weapons. The fighting power has dropped a lot. And not far from the 5 CP0s, Stussy is being shackled by Black Seastone, locking his hands and feet. When she heard the conversation between the 5 CPOs, she couldn't help but poo, "You guys don't want to catch Luo Qiye, huh? You still want to catch him and train him to become a killing machine for the world government. Don't dream. You guys. If you can kill me now, if you give me a chance, I will take revenge on you. Revenge on the world government. Is it?" A short CP0 turned around, and said in a cold voice, "In these years, you have been placed in Happy Street, you must have cultivated a lot of your own dead servants and subordinates secretly, right? It's a pity, when we catch you, return to your life after that, those people will all be eliminated. Anyone who knows the secrets of the world government will not be able to escape the control of the world government." Another CP0 spoke, his voice was condescending, "Whether it's you, your subordinates, or Luo Qiye, he seems to know a lot of secrets. I don't know if he will you come to die." A few of them were obviously afraid to find the mammoth. It should be fear. Fujitora smiled. Advertisement. In their eyes, the threat of that blind swordsman was far greater than that of Luo Qiye. Snort. Stussy said coldly, "Don't dream, Master Qiye is so high, how could he fall into your scheme? In other words, he won't make a move for you, an unremarkable little woman. In his eyes, you may be just a flag that can be discarded at any time." The CPO wearing a tiger mask sneered, "Just such a brat, you still work hard for him. How dare you betray world government P and give up your CPO status for him? No need to say more." Stussy took a breath, she got poked in the soft spot, but she didn't care. "He and I used to use each other. From the beginning, I was just a tool for him to navigate." As he said that, Stussy laughed, "Ha ha ha, you don't want to catch him. No, even if you find him, you are not his opponent, you gang of blind rats. What qualifications do you have to talk about capturing Qiye? My lord, what qualifications do you have to talk about training Master Qiye into a killing machine? You guys, even if there are 10 more, they won't be the opponent of Master Qiye. If you don't want to die here, kill me quickly and get out of this island. I advise you to do it yourself." Stussy growled. He hissed. She wanted to s off these CPOs and tell them to get out of here quickly. Although she knew clearly, Luo Qiye would not come here specifically for her. But she was still worried, looking forward and afraid. Luo Qiye will really come alone. These people in front of me. Not easy to deal with. Several CPOs looked at the crazy Stussy in surprise. Their faces hidden under the mask did not show any expression. The only emotion, probably, is curiosity. I am curious about the reason why Stussy, a woman who has been trained by the world government for so many years, completely fell in love with Luo Qiye within a short period of contact with Luo Qiye. Could it be that the little ghost named Luo Qiye has a great personality? A few couldn't help laughing in their hearts. Advertisement. It's just a 10-year-old kid. Caught by us, waiting for him will be the same fate as Bartholomew Big Bear. Asking for flowers. Even Shanks can't keep him. HMPH, if he can become a killing machine, he should be honored. Not everyone has the opportunity to become a tool of God. Wait a little longer. If he hides on the mammoth and doesn't dare to come out, just let this one go, and wait for him to order next time, and then attack him. But you definitely won't be able to escape. 5 CP0s, people speak one sentence. Who? Stussy spat out a mouthful of blood. God. What is God? The nobles of the world. They are just a bunch of dirty beasts. You, and the old me, are all rats who dare not even see the sun. How dare you take off your mask, live for yourself for a day? Don't dare, because you will always be morons. So, the tallest CPO stared at Stussy. Are you proud of living in the sun for a day? Do you also give up your CPO status and completely lean towards Luo Qiye? 0. Yeah, you will never know how wonderful it feels to live for yourself. Stussy closed his eyes, took a breath, and stared at the 5 people in CP0 again, even breathing is free. What kind of shit gods, what kind of shit world nobles, sooner or later, they will be trampled under by Master Qiye. He will definitely rewrite the whole world. Crazy woman. It's just a kid with a little talent. If he doesn't cooperate with us, he will only become a specimen in Dr. Vegapunk's laboratory in the future. All the secrets of him will be researched, including his power, commanding sword, flying with a sword, black coffin, golden giant's power. His various abilities. In the future, it will be thoroughly studied and become the scientific achievements of the world government scientific research institutions. He should be honored for that. The 5 CPOs split into 2 groups, with 4 going to grab Weibo and drag him toward the shore, and 1 toward Stussy. Let's go. He probably won't dare to come over. We will continue to follow him until he is separated from the blind swordsman, and then arrest that little devil named Qiye. However, just at this time, I think I heard someone calling my name. A blue light, like the wind and lightning, appeared from midair, but it was Luo Qiye wearing a white nuclear flat coat, stepping on the 1,000 blades of the magic knife, flying towards the sword. He looked down, the corner of his mouth hangs with a touch of arc. In the next 7 nights, what is there to do? Advertisement 105. The road to perdition. Shorter than you can imagine. Little brother begging to subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Along the way, Luo Qiye kept receiving system prompts. It fully allowed him to gain more than 3,000 pretense points. He is also curious, who is pretending for himself? Weibo, that Han will definitely not pretend. Fujitora smile. Impossible. Is that the redheads? It shouldn't be either. Unexpectedly, it turned out to be Stussy in the end. Luo Qiye came with the wind and sword, and his eyes fell on Stussy. Since you pretended to be aggressive for me and earned pretending points, then I can't do nothing, can I? The CPO who was going to Stussy was stunned when he saw Luo Qiye. The 5 CPOs raised their heads one after another, staring at Luo Qiye with their eyes hidden under the masks. After confirming that Fujitora's smile did not arrive, they spoke one after another. 107. Little devil. I advise you to obediently follow us. Freedom from flesh and blood. I admit that you have a bit of talent, but don't try to escape from the 5 of us. We are not members of the Whitebeard Pirates, and we will show mercy to you. Once we make a move, you will definitely suffer from flesh and blood. You should worry about whether your delicate and tender body can bear it. Be obedient and follow us back to the Holy Land Mariajoy. If you are lucky enough to be a servant of God, it will be the greatest honor of your life. When the 5 CPOs opened their mouths, they had already put on a parrying posture, and at the same time, the CPO who was walking towards Stussy even flickered, might who controlled Stussy as a hostage. His speed is incredible, strike like lightning, but he never thought of it. A sword shard that was glowing with blue light flew towards him at a faster speed than him, stabbing at his heart in an instant. In this instant, the CPO only felt his scalp go numb, and the sense of fear instantly spread to every part of his body. Iron Body Profound Truth. Armament Haki. He has already fully activated Observation Haki. Advertisement. At the moment when the blue shard stabbed out, the whole body was tense, and Armament Haki and Iron Body were triggered, while the body moved quickly to the side. Avoid this dreadful shard. However, he still couldn't dodge this piece of debris. PFF'd. A fragment of the sword split by the magic knife Thousand Blades unexpectedly chased this CP0 and turned a corner, piercing his heart with lightning speed and astonishing lethality. The defenses of Iron Body and Armament Haki are vulnerable to the magic sword Shinran. This CPO's body, like a block of tofu, was pierced by sword fragments. The blue light fragments flew back to the magic knife Thousand Blades under Luo Qiye's feet in an arc trajectory with a blood line, and they were completely reassembled. Observation Haki. Such a strong Observation Haki. The CPO, whose heart was pierced, covered his heart with one hand, trying to stop the blood from flowing out, and pointed at Luo Qiye with the other. You. Oh. Luo Qiye landed near him, holding the magic knife Shinran, shook his head and sighed, and said with a regretful expression, I just tried my skills, don't blame me. PFF'd. When the CPO heard Luo Qiye's words, he spat out a mouthful of blood on the spot, and fell straight down. His face hidden under the mask was full of horror and disbelief. He didn't understand it until he died. Why can the sword in Luo Qiye's hand split into pieces? Why does that fragment have such terrifying penetrating power? Armament Haki and Iron Body Profound Truth, which he has cultivated for decades, are so fragile and vulnerable to the blue light in front of the fragments. It can be said to be dead. Seeing this scene, the other 4 CPOs showed a tinge of fear on their faces hidden under the masks. Especially the blue lighting sword in Luo Qiye's hand that they had never seen or heard before. The sword in this kid's hand is weird. Be careful. His Observation Haki seems to have been cultivated to a very high level. As long as the blind swordsman doesn't come, the 4 of us are more than enough to deal with one of him. Everyone, get ready to do it. For God. The figures of several people changed and moved quickly. Like afterimages, they quickly surrounded Luo Qiye. Advertisement. Immediately, the 4 surrounded Luo Qiye and Stussy. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 1086 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye, who is used to big fish and big meat, didn't dislike this little 1000 points of pretense. Idle is also idle. Pack a pack, harvest a wave. Why not do it? And this moment, Stussy, who had already given up hope of surviving, suddenly felt a feeling he had never had before. Don't refute us. Your road to perdition, shorter than you can imagine. The tallest CPO continued to speak. His voice was cold and emotionless. From the moment he joined CPO and served God, his life has been sacrificed to God, and being able to sacrifice for God is his greatest gift. Proud, brat, you should follow us obediently. Luo Qiye smiled innocently, but with a proud attitude. Then let me tell you one thing. Oh, unfortunately, God, naturally he is a high-ranking world nobleman. Another CP0 speaks, because our capabilities exceed your imagination. That sense of security that I've never had before. Is it? Luo Qiye ignored her at all. He gently raised the magic knife Thousand Blades in his hand, blue light flickered on the striped knife body, and his voice had an arrogant and unruly tone. What did you just say? God. Who is the god of this world? Stussy couldn't tell the difference. She raised her head slightly, looked at Luo Qiye's back, and inexplicably felt a sense of security. Luo Qiye looked at the leading CPO, I thought he would be your companion at 0.7, but it turned out to be just a flag that can be discarded at any time. The tallest CP0 spoke with a haughty voice, as if it was an honor to serve the celestial dragons. If you figure it out now, we can accept it, and we won't hold you accountable for killing it. His consequences. Or worship. Is it moving? Look at your fallen subordinates over there. Think about why the big guy was seriously injured and fainted, but we are safe and sound. 106. Vegapunk. The power of God, extinguished with a raised hand. Who is it worth making Fujitora laugh at this trick? Advertisement. Luo Qiye's voice just fell. The 4 CPOs even took the initiative. The 4 people moved left and right, like afterimages, so fast that they couldn't be seen clearly with the naked eye. This level of speed, in my eyes, is as slow as an ant. Luo Qiye's observation haki status is fully open, locking a CPO. Don't you know my observation haki and your intelligence? Swish. Luo Qiye slashed out with one sword. The blue light flashed like an arc. 1,000 blades of the magic knife slashed at a CPO. Thorn. The CPO was beheaded, his body became flat like paper, and finally his body disappeared, leaving only a white robe and a mask, which fell to the ground. This is not one of the Marine 6 styles. Rather, it's an ability similar to the shadow clone technique. Lord Qiye, be careful. Stussy reminds, they are all people who have been endowed with god powers, and maybe some have been transformed by Vegapunk. Oh, Luo Qiye just Vegapunk. God's power, should it be the reason why your CPO organization is working for celestial dragons? Well, I'll let you become the first batch of souls who have seen the true face of the magic sword Thousand Blades. The 4 CPOs continued to circle towards Luo Qiye. Only white afterimages remained. 24 Their voices sounded and echoed continuously, as if evil spirits were surrounding Luo Qiye. You pretend to be full of confidence now, but it's because your strength is not enough. We are very aware of your various abilities. With your intelligence, you should understand that since we dare to attack you, we naturally have a perfect plan, and you cannot escape. Be obedient and catch him with your hands free, and avoid the pain of flesh and blood. Your greatest reliance is nothing more than the power of the golden giant. But what you don't know is that the giantization of human beings is just a child's play in the technological means controlled by the world government. The sound of transfiguration and position changing came from the ear, as well as the sound of admonishment, echoing constantly, which made Luo Qiye a little annoyed. Forget it, anyway, you can't find a few pretentious points on your body. I'll send you to hell. Thorn. Luo Qiye held up the magic sword Thousand Blades in his hand. Bloom. Millennium Evil Spirit, sweeping thousands of troops. Accompanied by Luo Qiye's voice, the blade of the demon saber Thousand Blades split into countless fragments in an instant, and continued to flourish. The fragments of the sword with blue light suddenly flew down from the midair in a circle, like pear blossom needles in a rainstorm. Not good. Life profound truth. Anormization. Memory armor. Laser. When Luo Qiye held up the magic knife Thousand Blades, and the fragments of the sword fell like needles in a rainstorm, the 4 CPOs shrouded in white robes all felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. The moment death enveloped them, all 4 of them used all their strongest abilities. A CPO turned into a giant, covering Marine 6 style's iron body and armament haki all over his body. He crossed his hands in front of him, trying to block the blue light fragments pouring down one after another. Advertisement. Puff puff. But he never thought that even if he became a giant, even if he used the strongest defense, his hands were still pierced by the fragments of the magic knife Thousand Blades. Pierce the chest. But I'm not going to give up. I'm still ready. Turning into a giant tens of meters tall, CPO actually shifted his heart by a certain position at the very moment, forcibly avoiding the fatal injury. His body was pierced. Blood flying. Didn't break the heart. Shish. Almost at the same time, a flash of golden light shot out from under the mask of another CPO. Laser. One of the high technologies mastered by the world government. This laser is like tracking, locking on to pieces of sword fragments, moving quickly, and shooting them all down. The other 2 were not so lucky. One uses the same memory armor as Germa 66. The white robe turned into an armor, trying to block the shards of swords that came from it. The sharpness of the magic knife Thousand Blades is far beyond his imagination. It pierced through the armor directly, then penetrate his body. There is a hole. Exoskeletons. Can't stop. What kind of weapon is this? His last words before he died were full of puzzlement. The other one, who was the tallest, was directly pierced by dense sword fragments. From the head to the heart, there was not an inch of intact skin on the upper body. Just when his upper body fell down, his lower body was wearing a white robe, and he ran away directly into the distance. Thump. The upper body fell down, and what fell on the ground was a dwarf like a dwarf. It's not a tall man, but there's a person hiding underneath. A look of surprise flashed in Luo Qiye's eyes. You 2 are here to pretend to be tall, right? Imp. The CP0 who turned into a giant spoke, his voice was like thunder, and he said angrily, you have successfully seen our trump card, you should fall down. The giant stretched out his hands and grabbed Luo Qiye. He just needs to catch Luo Qiye's moment of time. Then you can let the CPO who masters laser take action. Put Luo Qiye to death. Advertisement. Destroy. Thousand Blades chasing the moon. The hilt of the Thousand Blades that Luo Qiye held up high, now the flying fragments flew back one after another, but instead of reorganizing into the blade, they spread out and arranged upwards, level with the giant. Slash down with Luo Qiye. Shards of blue light, like an extended magic knife, cut across the center of the giant's eyebrows, and a line of blood appeared on the giant's body in an instant, which was split in two and cut into two halves. Boom. The giant was cut in half, and the left and right sides fell down. After falling down, the giant returned to its previous normal size. The corpse that had been cut in half fell bloody on the ground. The last remaining CPO with a laser hidden under the mask. They are all going to hell. As a companion, don't you ever think about going down to accompany them. The corners of Luo Qiye's mouth rose slightly, and the magic knife thousand blades in his hand was reassembled again. The fragments were reorganized into the blade, and the stripes on the blade were blooming with blue light, as if, I'll give you a ride. Thousand blades returned to one. Boom. Huge laser burst out instantly. A laser cannon, shoot at Luo Qiye. Luo Qiye does not retreat but advances, his figure is like a charm, the laser light brushes the edge of his nuclear flat coat, the magic knife in his hand cuts out with thousands of blades, and a purple light suddenly appears. What a big head flying out. Gululu fell to the ground. The mask was broken, and a human head appeared, but the eyes were transformed into mechanical eyes. The 853 laser is installed inside. You can't escape. Luo Qiye's voice sounded. At the feet of the fleeing dwarf wearing a large white robe, black walls suddenly appeared, followed by a black coffin to envelop him. Black long swords appeared around the black coffin, continuously piercing into the black coffin. Stussy looked at the scene in front of him, his small mouth was completely wide enough to stuff an egg, and his beautiful eyes were wide open. Hado no 90 black coffin. Following Luo Qiye all the way, she saw the power of this sword for the first time, and she was stunned on the spot. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you have successfully pretended to be aggressive, and you have gained plus 2080 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Ding. Close black lens bracket. At the port, there was a loud bang. But at this moment, black coffin disappeared, and the fleeing dwarf was covered in blood, kneeling on the ground like atonement. Immediately afterwards, above the sky, an extremely huge meteorite, with a whistling sound and red lava, fell towards the sea. Luo Qiye raised his head slightly and looked at the meteorite in the sky with great movement. Who is it that is worth making Fujitora laugh and use this trick? Holding the magic knife with thousands of blades, he stands proudly, the sea breeze blows away the pungent bloody smell, and blows the nuclear flatcoat behind him. A reminder sounded in my mind, and then sounded. Luo Qiye's voice came out faintly, your road to perdition will be shorter than your imagination. Do you believe it now? Very handsome. Is this the so-called power of God? I have already told you. Looking at the magic knife thousand blades in Luo Qiye's hands in disbelief. After Luo Qiye finished speaking, the last CPO died. An enemy attack. 107. Momosugi. Nuclear leveling is the truth. Justice, what a high-sounding word. Open black lens bracket seeking automatic subscription. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Boom. When the meteorite appeared from above the sky, a loud noise resounded throughout the island. The pirates and residents in the town raised their heads in shock and looked at the sky. Oh my god, it's a meteorite. What's going on? Meteorites from the sky. Run. This meteorite seems to be heading towards our island. No. This meteorite is Luo Qiye's subordinate. That blind swordsman. That's right. I've personally witnessed him follow Luo Qiye to deal with Beast's Pirate's Flame Calamity Jin before, and that move was a meteorite from the sky. Hiss. Luo Qiye is fighting with someone again. Hurry up to the port. Last time he fought Whitebeard, I missed it. This time, I must witness today's battle with my own eyes. Hurry up and run away. In case of being affected by the aftermath of the battle, it is not something you and I can afford. Amid the exclamation, many people in the town began to flee. They don't want to be affected by the battle and lose their lives. You must know that this level of battle, even if it is just the aftermath of the battle, they cannot bear it. And some daring pirates in the crowd, not only did not escape, but ran towards the port instead. It's really too much to join in the fun. One by one, in order to witness the bloody battle, they even gave up their lives. Perhaps this is the commonality of human beings. Port. Meteorites crashed down from the sky. Below, Fujitora on the mammoth smiled and held his sword tightly. He faced the opposite warship with a soft but unquestionable voice. I'm sorry, I won't let you get close to this island. Are you the gravity fruit ability user? On the warship, many female soldiers looked at the meteorite falling from the sky, and their faces changed drastically, but Momosugi at the front of the bow had a calm expression. She looked up calmly at the meteorite falling down quickly, and calmly raised her sword. Towards the huge meteorite in the sky, slash out with a sword. Advertisement. A little chill comes first. A slash suddenly formed, and slashed upwards. Thorn. At that moment, the huge lava meteorite was cut in half on the spot. Passed across both sides of the warship, plunged into the sea. A wave of waves was stirred up. Su-jin, Momosugi's robe of justice rattled, and after a sword slashed the meteorite, the cold light dissipated, and she retracted the long sword into the scabbard. She plausibly said, Mr. Blind Swordsman, please don't be obsessed. Your obsession is destined to lead Luo Qiye astray. The old man doesn't understand what goes astray. Fujitora smiled and said in a deep voice, the mission of this old man is to protect Qiye from growing up. This is my agreement with him. Guarding his growth, Momosugi was slightly taken aback. She stared at Fujitora and smiled, but have you ever thought that your protection is worthless? Not only that, but it will also make his path more and more deviant, darker and darker, it will kill him. Let him follow me, we naval headquarters will let him walk on the road of justice, shine brightly on the road of justice, and contribute his part to the cause of justice. Is it justice? Fujitora shook his head with a smile. For the first time, there was a touch of disdain on that uncle's face. This kind of emotion was almost impossible to appear on his face before. You Marines are justice, so what are the celestial dragons you guard? Overriding above human beings, is what you call justice. When will you, the pirates, be able to argue with us, the Marines, about the definition of justice? Momosugi stood at the forefront of the warship. She looked at Fujitora and smiled. Pirates burned, killed, looted and committed all kinds of crimes. They made the world chaotic, displaced countless people, and made the people of the whole world feel uneasy. What qualifications do they have to talk about justice? I have justice in my heart. When he heard the words burning, killing, looting, Fujitora smiled slightly, and the wrinkles on his face seemed to have intensified a bit. The nuclear flat coat on his body was blown by the sea breeze, but his face was extremely firm, and his words were even more sonorous. Powerful. Pirates are not righteous, but not every pirate will burn, kill, loot, and do evil. Making the world chaotic is not necessarily a bad thing. The superficial world is peaceful, but oppression is hidden everywhere. Slaves have always existed in this world. I don't know how many races have been oppressed for hundreds of years. Life is worse than death. On the surface, the people live and work in peace and contentment, but taxation deprives them of the fruits of their labor, and they work hard, but they can't even meet the basic living conditions of food, and suffer from hunger every day. What's more, as the people, we are deprived of the right to know the truth of this world by the world government. Is your justice real justice? The female Marines on the warship heard Fujitora's words with a smile. A huge shock in the heart. They never thought about it. Advertisement. Never heard of a different definition of justice either. The justice they originally believed in has been shaken a little bit today. Being laughed at by Fujitora shakes the justice in my heart. Momosugi naturally felt this, and couldn't help but sigh for these young female soldiers. After all, they are still too young. Just these few words shake the justice in my heart. No wonder so many people go astray and become pirates. As Marshal Sengoku said, indeed, human nature is good, but on the road of life, there are too many enlightenments and confusions, which led people astray. So they are needed to set things right. Just like Luo Qiye. He was obviously a gifted boy with extraordinary talents, but he became a pirate in his teens. Fortunately, she is still young, and there is still a place of redemption. Stop using these fallacies to refute justice. Momosugi looked at Fujitora with a smile and the word, nuclear flat, behind her coat. Although she didn't understand what it meant, her voice became a little bit louder. Under any governance, mobs will breed. If Marine can't represent justice, when the war is chaotic, why are we always there to protect it? When the people are suffering, why are we the only ones to save them? After the pirates burned, killed and looted, only Marine settled down for the people. Do your best to make this world, good kings, more beautiful and less painful. This is the justice I protect, our justice. The group of female soldiers who were shocked just now were brought back to reality by Dao Fang's words. The concept of justice that had just been shaken has also stabilized. This old man is not here to talk about justice with you. Fujitora smiled and said no more. Please come back today, otherwise, I will have to attack you. Forget it. Momosugi didn't want to explain any more. She pulled out the supreme sword Kimpira, pointed at Fujitora and smiled. For justice, today I must defeat you and take Luo Qiye away. The two sides are at war, and the admiral-level battle is imminent. Take me. At this moment, Luo Qiye's voice sounded. He strode towards the port slowly, with the sea breeze blowing the white nuclear flat coat behind him. Justice, what a high-sounding word. 108. Momosugi, tie it back, I'll train it myself. If you keep your mouth shut, I can consider letting you be my foot-washing girl. Novel image. Advertisement. Behind Luo Qiye, followed by Stussy and Wabel, who was slapped awake. The three of them stood at a high place in the port, looking down at the warship below. You are Luo Qiye. Momosugi stood on the deck, raised his head slightly, and looked at Luo Qiye at the port. Sure enough, you are still a child. It doesn't matter, I will take you back later. In the future I will train you personally, and I will take care of all your bad habits, change them all. Luo Qiye. God TM's personal training. He looks pretty, but when he talks, why is he so disgusting? Luo Qiye looked at Momosugi slightly, with fine and long black hair coiled on top of her head, big eyes, clear and bright pupils, curved willow eyebrows, long eyelashes trembling slightly, fair and flawless skin with a hint of pink, thin her lips are tender, and she is wearing a white robe of justice. With her appearance and temperament, looking at the world of pirates, she can definitely enter the beauty list. Unfortunately, when he spoke, Luo Qiye really couldn't like it. Training is free. Luo Qiye shook his head, smiled lightly, and proudly looked down at Momosugi on the warship. If you keep your mouth shut, I can consider letting you be my foot-washing girl. Quote exclamation mark quote. Stussy behind him couldn't help but feel ashamed when he heard this sentence. Luo Qiye is good everywhere. Just a bit too much for women. Totally impersonal. There is no gentlemanly demeanor of pity and pity. Maybe it has something to do with his age. Stussy thought so. But the Marines below, hearing Luo Qiye's words, couldn't help glaring. Momosegi's subordinates are all female soldiers. At this time, hearing Luo Qiye's words, I can consider letting you be my foot-washing girl, everyone felt as if they had been greatly insulted. 910. This brat is so arrogant. Master Guillaume, how about I go up and seal his mouth? A 10-year-old brat dared to be so outspoken and rude. It seems that this brat is very uneducated. If it weren't for the task of the marshal, I really want to hang this brat up and suck his A*, and educate him. Damn brat, you're still arrogant. I don't know why the marshal valued him so much and insisted on letting him join the marine. In my opinion, there's no cure for such a brat, so just kill him. Hey, little brat, the sisters are very angry now, and the consequences will be serious. Master Guillaume, I'll tie him up and see if he dares to speak out. When a group of female soldiers heard Luo Qiye's words, they were all angry and wanted to move forward. But was stopped by Momosegi. You are not his opponents. Momosegi stopped her group of aggrieved subordinates, especially the female rear admirals. They didn't know Luo Qiye's record, but Momosegi knew it very well. Yi, you are still a child, and you still have lost your way. Opportunity. Join our marine now, smooth out your arrogant personality, get rid of bad oral habits, train to improve your strength, and your future achievements will be promising. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive, and you got plus 3,607 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. If you can beat Uncle Yishao single-handedly, I can consider it. A reminder sounded in his mind, and Luo Qiye then said with a half-smile, however, in my eyes, you, a woman who failed to even run for admiral, is definitely not a match for Uncle Yishao. How do you know this? Momosegi was stabbed in the scar, but she was even more surprised how Luo Qiye knew about her failure to run for admiral. Oh, actually, not only do I know prophecy, I can see the future, and I can also see the past. Advertisement. Luo Qiye said with a smile. Can you see the future and the past? This is impossible. Even all the female soldiers including Momosegi were shocked. They couldn't believe it was real. In this world, is there really someone who can see the future and the past? What a joke. Though I don't know how you know about my failure to run for admiral. But Momosegi looked at Luo Qiye. It's not a good habit for children to brag. Boast. Luo Qiye smiled. I also saw in you that there used to be a vice admiral named T. Dolphin, who confessed to you 99 times, and you rejected him 99 times. But then again, that guy is really ugly and wretched, and he can't even run for admiral. You just made a normal decision for a normal woman. If you want to find a man, you have to find someone better than yourself. Quote. You. Momosegi twitched her eyebrows, a layer of frost appeared on her face, and her beautiful eyes were mixed with surprise and anger. I don't know how you found out about this, but I have to complete the task today. He can't stop today's action. You go through the level of Uncle Smile first, and then we can talk about it. Luo Qiye smiled, but there was an extremely domineering look on his obviously immature face. If you don't want to stay in naval headquarters, you can join my banner and become my foot-washing girl. If you agree to come now, I can also consider giving you a chance, and when I repent, I won't have a chance. But first, you have to show some strength to let me see if you are qualified to become my foot-washing girl. Little devil, Hugh was going crazy. Before Momosegi could make a move, a woman behind her, Rear Admiral, couldn't bear it anymore, and flew out with Marine 6 styles moonwalk, and rushed to Luo Qiye. I'm going to sew your mouth shut. Let you get a good education, know what does it mean to respect an adult. Boom. Unfortunately, at the moment it just flew up, a terrifying force was applied to its body instantly. It was as if a pair of invisible big hands pulled it fiercely with terrifying force. The woman Rear Admiral fell into the sea on the spot. Plop, Seeb, stir up a wave. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, you succeeded in pretending to be aggressive and got plus 3,907 points for pretending to be aggressive. Close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye received the system's notification tone again. Good. Pretty good. You guys should just wait there. The old man has shown mercy. Fujitora smiled and said in a deep voice, our peace team has the justice we believe in our principles. We don't need to join your marine, let alone become a thug for the world government to consolidate power. Shua. Momosegi shot. She jumped up and went straight to Fujitora with a smile. Then I will finish him first, and then kidnap you. Old man, it's not so easy to solve. Fujitora smiled and pulled out his staff and sword, and slashed out with a terrifying slash. I don't want to kill people, but you should give it back to me. Snort. Momosegi said softly, break me. She slashed with a sword. Block that terrifying slash from Fujitora. Momosegi is on the mammoth. Advertisement. Admiral-level battles erupt in an instant. The forces of terror are colliding. Even if both sides have not really done it yet, they have reached the earth-shattering level. The mammoth kept shaking, and the sea below exploded with waves. This is still under the deliberate control of Fujitora. But the other pirate ships around were not so lucky, just the aftermath of the battle between the two admirals destroyed one pirate ship after another. The fragments of the sky are rewinding. Pirate ships burst open one after another. Fortunately, these pirates have already escaped, otherwise their lives will be lost. Fujitora forced Momosegi back with a smile, forced him off the mammoth, chased him down, and the two confronted again at the port. The slashing was raging, and the ground was shaking. Under this battle, the port seemed to cease to exist at any time and was completely destroyed. This big movement attracted many pirates and residents to rush over from the town to watch the battle from afar. Such a terrifying battle has shocked many people. What a terrifying battle. Naval Headquarters Warship. That is, Naval Headquarters' only active female Vice Admiral. It is rumored that she already has the strength of Admiral. The difference between Admiral and Admiral is only the title. The other looks familiar. That's Luo Qiye from Red Hair Pirates. Hiss. Is it really him? How did he appear here? Nuclear. Like what kind of nuclear team they are now? That blind swordsman is the strongest member of Luo Qiye's subordinates. The destructive power of this battle is terrifying. Not only those who watched the battle from a distance were amazed by it, felt the destructive power, and were terrified by it. Even the female soldiers on the warship gritted their teeth tightly. Only at this time did they truly understand the horror of that blind swordsman. Everyone is very nervous. Such an admiral-level terrifying existence, their mission this time. I'm afraid it will be difficult to complete. Only Luo Qiye was so calm, he asked Stussy to find chairs and fruits, and enjoy them while watching the battle. System. Luo Qiye called out the system in his mind. How much pretense do I have now? System. Host currently has 45,081 pretense points. 1. Lottery draw. Being idle is also idle. Luo Qiye was enjoying the battle while distracting himself from the lottery draw. System. Give me 4 advanced lottery draws. Save enough 100,000 to draw the ultimate prize draw. No, it is impossible to save money. Timely enjoyment is what Luo Qiye loves. Come on, smoke it for me. Host spends 10,000 pretense points and starts to sell level lottery. Congratulations host, you got 109. True Wuhuang possession. Admiral arrived. It's so scary. Open black lens bracket. Subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Listen to all things. Ability. Full level. Host can listen to the voice of all things and communicate with all things. Quote question mark quote. Luo Qiye was slightly taken aback. Good guy. I got the ability of the main character Luffy. But this thing is a chicken rib. Not of much use. Communicate with animals. What's the use of it? Talk is better than nothing. The system beep continues. Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Congratulations to host, you have obtained Mach Padmo ability, advanced derived from the hidden ability of a seeds, within a certain range, can freeze the entire time and space. When the host uses it, no Taigu is required. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Good guy. Luo Qiye is a good guy. This 10,000 pretentious points directly drew the bug level skills in the world of Zanmei. Although it is only a high level Mokobotama, there are 2 levels between the top level and the full level, but even a high level one is enough. Based on Luo Qiye's understanding of system grading, the grading distinction is nothing more than duration, scope of action, lethality, the difference in 3 aspects. Komoko Botmo is frozen together with time and space. Even if it's just for a brief moment. In the battle of life and death, it is enough to kill the enemy and turn defeat into victory. Handsome. I'm so lucky today. Is the Emperor O possessed? Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open advanced lottery. Congratulations to host. I got Starburst Airflow / Swordsmanship, full level, from Karitani Kazuto's Swordsmanship, 16 consecutive hits and 2 swords, high level swordsmanship. Oh, Luo Qiye smiled slightly. Good mood. It's pretty lucky today. The 2-knife style happens to be able to do it myself. Not bad. Good luck. Host spends 10,000 pretense points to open the advanced lottery. Congratulations host. Get speed plus 100. The 4th advanced lottery draw, although it is not a skill, but increases the speed attribute. And the speed of the system is an attribute, which sums up jumping, agility, speed, etc., all together. I feel that the power in my body is getting stronger and stronger. Feeling the changes in his body, Luo Qiye couldn't help showing a satisfied smile. Advertisement. To know, in Pirate World, all abilities must be based on a strong physique. This is the basic law of Pirate World, equivalent to the foundation of tall buildings. The foundation of all abilities. Only when the foundation is strong enough and one's own combat power is enough, can one be powerful enough. The improvement of strength, speed, and physical strength is equal to the overall improvement of oneself. And with Luo Qiye's current understanding of the system, the abilities he currently possesses will also be affected by his own basic attributes. Every time his basic attributes increase, the destructive power of using abilities will also increase accordingly. At that time, when using Hato's 90 Black Coffin, the reason why it was not strong enough was that its own attributes were not strong enough, apart from not being able to sing. If Luo Qiye were to use this ability now, the power would definitely be stronger than when he used it on Whitebeard last time, and it would last longer. Boom. The battle between Momoshiki and Fujitora has also reached a fever pitch. Even though neither of them intends to go all out. But it's an admiral-level battle after all. The destructive power is terrifying. The island's port has been completely destroyed at this time. It was just a small test of skill, sorry. Fujitora suddenly said with a smile. His voice was calm, and he didn't mean to be half-teasing. Next, the old man has to be serious. Open black lens bracket ding. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, your subordinates acted aggressively for you and got plus 999 points for acting aggressive, close black lens bracket. Luo Qiye received a system prompt again. Very good. It seems that Uncle Yishao has learned the essence of pretending to be aggressive. Snort. Momosuke was unafraid. She held a gold vira, charged straight up, and attacked Fujitora with a smile. Your devil fruit ability has little effect on the outcome of the battle. Boom. While Momosuke was running, a terrifying gravitational field formed under her feet, and she jumped up to avoid the gravitational field. But where she was originally, a bottomless hole appeared. Boom boom boom. Continuous gravitational fields appear continuously, and wherever they pass, bottomless holes appear one after another, like abysses leading straight to hell. Terrible. Momosuke was tired of coping, but couldn't get close to Fujitora with a half smile. Are you going to kill her? Fujitora smiled very patiently, and asked Luo Ban in a deep voice. Tisk tisk, she looks so good looking and has a good figure, it's a pity to kill her. Luo Qiye stood up, smiled from a distance. He just drew good things in a row. He was in a good mood, and seeing Momosuke also became pleasing to the eye. At least when this woman was around, he let himself be possessed by the emperor. He continued to laugh. Momosuke, I will give you one last chance to choose. If you put down your gold vira and surrender obediently, I can consider making you my foot-washing girl. Advertisement. Seeking flowers. Oh. Huh. It seems that if you don't teach you a lesson, you won't be able to get rid of your bad habit. Momosuke snorted coldly. While rushing, she came towards Luo Qiye. Boom boom boom. A series of gravity fields in front of her continued to appear, preventing her from moving forward. The many pirates onlookers were all terrified. Run. Flee, flee, flee. A battle of this level, even if it's just the aftermath, is enough to kill us. Run. When the pirates saw Momosuke rushing towards them, they ran away in fright. At this time, do you still dare to continue watching the battle? Life matters. But Momosuke can't get away with it. The gravity fruit in Fujitora Yishao's hands exerted a great deterrent force, completely preventing Momosuke's actions, forcing her to change directions and dodge constantly. 0. The female soldiers on the warship watched one by one but couldn't help it. At the same time, Luo Qiye's words made her gnash her teeth in anger. The rear admiral who fell into the sea just now has been caught up, soaked in a mess. Master Guion seems to have a hard time breaking through that blind swordsman's attack. Damn, that brat is still arrogant. Hateful. The current pirates are all monster-like. It's so scary, a person with power fruit ability. Female rear admiral gritted her teeth, otherwise Ziyuan would not have spoken clearly. Master Yuan would not value him so much. At this moment, above the sea level, a golden light suddenly appeared, extremely bright and dazzling. What to do? That kid is not a fuel-efficient lamp. It's true. At this time, the embarrassed rear admiral blocked many female soldiers who were about to move. You are going to die. Have you seen the two behind him? Why don't we go and catch him? The thief is the first to catch the king. Catch him, everything is over. All the female soldiers calm down now. We can't do anything. We can't help Gion-sama. At the same time as the light was on, a trembling voice sounded. Stussy and Wabel behind Luo Qiye also gave them a great sense of threat. Little brother continues to code words. Ask for subscription support. 0. We can't just watch here, can we? Many female soldiers had no choice but to itch with hatred. No. 110. Revolutionary Army undercover. I saw you get a gun pointed to your head by Ben Beckman. Advertisement. A laser beam shoots towards Luo Qiye from the sea level. Fujitora made a timely move with a smile, and his figure quickly appeared not far from Luo Qiye, and he slashed out with a sword. Under the blessing of gravity, the terrifying slash collides with the laser like a nuclear bomb. Bang! A huge explosion sounded. Laser gone. A tall figure appeared on the warship. Luo Qiye raised his head slightly, looking at the warship. A middle-aged man with short curly black hair, a pair of yellow sunglasses, a circle of stubble on his face, tall and thin, wearing a yellow and white striped suit, purple tie, and white leather shoes, standing at the forefront of the warship deck. Naval Headquarters has the highest combat power, one of the 3 admirals in this part. Porisalino, codename Kizaru Admiral, hiss. Those pirates who had already retreated to the back to watch the battle, saw Kizaru appearing at this time, they were completely terrified. Run. If you don't run, it will be too late. 873, Naval Headquarters. The real admiral is coming. Those pirates all turned blue with fright, and fled here like flying. It's like seeing a ghost. Fear spread in their hearts. Almost in the blink of an eye, all the pirates who originally planned to watch the battle from a distance all fled, rolling and crawling, not daring to stay for a moment. Such is the deterrent power of the Admiral of Headquarters Kizaru. Absolute deterrent. As for the female soldiers on the warship, all of them were frowning, but when they saw Kizaru's arrival, they all showed surprise. Even more excited, some of the female soldiers were jumping up and down. Lord Pelusalino, there are grown-ups here, and we will definitely be able to take them down today. Take the blind swordsman back to the deep-sea prison, and tie that brat back to train him. Lord Pelusalino, please be sure to shut up that brat's mouth, he is so shameless. That's it. The female soldiers were behind Kizaru, chattering excitedly. Faced with such hospitality, Kizaru had an indifferent expression on his face. He pulled down his sunglasses slightly with his right hand, looked at the Luo Qiye crowd, and showed a look of surprise. Oh, a kid in his teens. Tisk tisk, it's amazing. Is the newcomer on this sea now such a monster as young as 10 years old? Poor Salino. Stussy, who was beside Luo Qiye, was tense all over, with a dignified expression. This was the first time she was so nervous, even more nervous than when she met the CPO before. She whispered, Lord Qiye, you will find a chance to escape later. Let's hold Pelusalino for a while. Is he strong? Edward Weeble asked naively. Why are you so afraid of him? Very strong. Stussy tensed up all over. Even if it is 4 emperors, I dare not say that I can defeat Admiral in a short time. Advertisement. Are the 4 emperors strong? Weeble looked puzzled. The corners of Stussy's mouth twitched, forgetting that Weeble's brain is so good that he explained so much to him. It's really strong. Even Fujitora, who had been silent all this time, smiled, and said in a deep voice, he is stronger than the female general just now. I can stop him, but it should be hard to beat. It's enough to stop him alone. Not only was Luo Qiye not afraid, he did not run away as Stussy said, but he took a step forward and walked to the front of the team. He looked up at the Marines and grinned. I actually dispatched 2 admirals for me, Momosuke alternate admiral. The strength is close. It is rumored that even the 4 emperors cannot win the victory from the combination of 2 admirals in this sea. Little ghost, do you know how to be afraid now? HMPH, there are Lord Pelusalino and Lord Guion, you guys can't escape even with wings. Today we will take all of you down. Let you see how amazing our naval headquarters are. Victory always belongs to us who are just. Lord Pelusalino, please act. Many female soldiers had lost face before, and now they shouted one after another. Seems like a sure bet. It's a foregone conclusion. Ouch. Kizaru tilted his mouth and tilted his head, with a playful expression of, cat playing with a mouse. Don't be afraid, the old man is just passing by, stop by to have a look. You see, didn't the Jin just escape from my hands? Maybe you have a chance to escape too. Escape. Luo Qiye continued to take a few steps forward. He shook his head and said, there's no need to run away. It's useless to run away in front of a Logia sparkling fruit-capable user. What's more, I never even thought about running away. Oh, you're actually quite self-aware. Huang Yuan pushed the sunglasses back with his fingers, shook his shoulders, then just surrender obediently, lest the old man make another move. I never said I would surrender. Luo Qiye looked directly at Kizaru and said with a smile, as we all know, I possess prophecy and can see the future and past of all living beings. Guess what I just saw? What did you see? Kizaru looked at Luo Qiye with interest. Luo Qiye was not in a hurry to escape. He, Kizaru, was not in a hurry to make a shot either. It's like clocking in and mixing hours at work. Grinding foreign workers. If you can listen to interesting stories, why not do it? Kizaru kept his uncle smiling and looked at Luo Qiye. Young man, tell your story, it makes me happy. Why? It's not a story. Luo Qiye spoke nonsense in a serious manner, and adapted the guesses he saw from many netizens on the forum before crossing into a prophecy. He said seriously. I saw your past. You, as Marine Admiral, were talking to a man wearing a dark green coat, with a red square tattoo on the left side of his face, and no eyebrows, in a secret place. What are you talking about? Very close relationship. Kizaru. What is this past? Inexplicable. However. Advertisement. Father, like son, Momosuke, who is Admiral's backup, reacted immediately. She glanced at Kizaru, raised her eyebrows, and then looked at Luo Qiye. You mean, Revolutionary Army? Revolutionary Army? What Revolutionary Army? What is he saying? The female soldiers were not high enough to reach that level, so naturally they didn't think in that direction. I never said that. Luo Qiye looked at Momosuke with a half smile. Did the secret channel work? He continued, I also see your future, when Naval Headquarters dispatches all elite troops to start a war with a certain 4 Emperors pirate group in New World, you Pelusalino. Watching the show the whole time, even if it is a shot, it is all kinds of water on the big pirate. It seems that you deliberately want the pirate to win. Tisk tisk, I also saw a future scene, you were actually surrendered on the spot by our deputy captain Ben Beckman, holding a gun to your head, raising your hands up. Kizaru is numb. What is this stuff? What are you talking about? Why can't I understand at all? But Momosuke got it. Kizaru is undercover. No wonder he's been ambiguous about justice before. Be lazy. Turn out to be. He's an undercover agent connected to the Revolutionary Army. Etc. Could this brat be deliberately fabricating these stories to sow discord? Let 1.4 make me suspicious. When shooting at him, he still has to keep a close eye on Pelusalino, looking forward and backward, not daring to go out with all his strength. Most likely so. As for seeing the future and the past, she doesn't believe it. Even if Luo Qiye has spoken out about her past before, those pasts are well known in Naval Headquarters, and being known by Luo Qiye is nothing. That must be a trick. Hiss. Momosuke gasped inwardly, she was secretly startled. This guy Luo Qiye's attacking technique is really amazing. Only, no matter how smart she is, she has planted a seed. And this kind of seed will see the real picture during the summit war and grow into a towering tree. It doesn't matter if Kizaru is undercover or not. Just like the incident of eating a few bowls of noodles, no one cares whether Kizaru is really an undercover agent. He will be labeled as an undercover agent of the Revolutionary Army.